So
I love all this conjecture.
They got flip knives and tattoos.
Yeah, go on.
So basically, they said, let's do some business with the bananas.
Let's do some business with the bananas.
Shit! This is...
What are you talking about?
Oh, for Christ's sake!
Right, calm down, we haven't got much time left.
Oh, God! What do you mean this is...
Forget it.
No, don't forget it! Carl, do not press that! Switch the record off. Switch the record off.
Christ!
Switch the record off, Carl.
What are you talking about? What did they do? Oh.
Let's do business with the bananas.
Yeah.
So they said, well, rather than them coming robbing them, we'll flog them. So that put a stop to it then. The monkeys came. They didn't have money. They said, give us some bananas. And it says
So what, they exchange bananas for bananas?
for berries and nuts. So that's where the phrase monkey business
No, it's
comes
not.
from. Little business
No.
they set up.
Alright, there, God. That's the end of that as well. So that's the end. That is a shame. That's the end of Rockbusters and Monkey News. Well done. You've done it in one show. Well, there's the best band in Britain, in my opinion.
Big words.
The Darkness, Growing on Me, on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
Have you got the album?
And already, they've had an argument.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know whether we need to cheapen the show by discussing it, but I asked for a particular track. Carl is the producer, and he failed to get it for me. He's failed to get it for me. He's failed to bring it up from the record library. Completely failed in his mission. He needed to get 2 records, and he failed to get one of them. A 50% error rate there.
Yeah, but like I said, I looked in the system. It told me what album it's on. I brought that album up. I'm busy.
But, okay, so fine. Fine, you're absolutely fine then. That's no problem. You know, once again, that's a great excuse, Carl. Brilliant. The show has been ruined. It's been partially ruined, but you've got a bit of an excuse.
All right. I didn't make a big deal out of it when you said, oh, and whilst you're down there, get us a new 50 Cent single.
I never said, while you're down there, get the new 50 Cent single. I asked you if 50 Cent single was lying around.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been here, I wouldn't have worried.
So I get it, yeah. I did that for you.
Right.
And when I come up, you say, has it got swearing in it? Well,
What?
I don't know. It's 5 to 1, Steve.
You're the
I haven't got time. I've been
producer!
whizzing
You're the
around.
producer! It's the brand new single. I'd have thought it had been lying around in the XFM office anyway.
But I don't have time to sit around listening to music,
Sure, well, yeah.
right? I know that you have. Now you've got an iPod that can hold 7,500 songs. I don't know when you're going to get round to loading all them on, but I haven't got the time.
Sure.
Busy.
Yeah. Fine, okay. No, that's a perfect excuse, Carl. Well done, mate.
Right.
I just hope that I never have to depend on you in a real emergency.
I had a bit of bad luck as well. I wanted to play REM, and maybe the listener can help me here. Can you email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you know what song I'm thinking of? It's an REM song. I think it's on the album of the last one before. And he says Mulholland Drive and I'm Steve McQueen. That's all I know. I'm sorry, I can't think of the title, so I need the title to look it up, if you know what I mean. I can't put in like that. I can't put in Mulholland Drive. The system goes, what are you talking about? So I need the actual title of the song to look it up to find it down in the library.
Oh, well, I'd go down yourself if you're going to go down to the library and get that. I wouldn't send Carl, because...
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
But if he wanted to, he did have time because he came in at 12 rather than 5 to 1.
Yeah. No, I told you about that record that I wanted it yesterday, didn't I? So you've had 24 hours notice. So that's not really an excuse, is it?
But I did find one of my favourite songs of all time, which is Bones off the Benz album, and it's Radiohead on XFM 104.9.
And here it is because you gave me lots of time
Yeah.
to find it. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Could have brought it in himself.
no swearing in it.
Bones. Radiohead. The Bends on XFM 104.9. And thanks to Paul, who's
Actually,
emailed
there's
in.
a whole bunch of other people.
Oh,
There's
there's lots
Nick,
of people,
we've got
is it?
Davey,
Well,
Steve, Ashley...
It's
lots of-
Electrolyte. You know, it all comes flooding back now. We've got that. I've got it out of the library. We're going to play that. That's done. It's interactive. I've used the listener. I've shown the listener, right? I've helped them to help themselves.
Sure.
I've said, if you want to hear it, tell me what it is. They told me what it is. They're going to hear it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Perfect.
Saves going down the library and, well, we don't...
Yeah, well, we know mistakes can happen if that, you know, if you have to go down the line.
Yeah, and I mean, I checked it, though, to make sure it was the right one, you see. It's just a little bit of...
Well, it's a good rule that generally, if you pick something up a CD,
That's
you know,
right,
you want to
yeah.
play on a radio
Sort
show, a
it
live
out
radio show,
yourself.
you normally check at the back. Oh, no, yeah, that's right, yeah, if you want a job done, do it yourself. You're absolutely right, Carl.
Yeah, so... Here we
But
are
anyway,
then.
look, let's all make friends. Let's kiss and make up.
Yeah, touch and make up.
Yeah.
Let's.
And let's just.
Well, I'm up on Carl at the moment because it was my birthday in the week, and not only has he bought me a little vibrating thing to put on the chair because I
Right.
got about that, so that vibrates. That.
Actually, we can hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do it between records now.
Right.
And
And what's
what
that
about-
doing to you as you
It's
do
just
that?
it sort of like sends a little pulse into sort of muscles, relax you, doesn't it? I've got to relax on air. If I'm relaxed, the listeners relax. We're all happy.
Sure.
He's also got me this little electronic bongos, and I thought we could do like, oh, chimpanzee that monkey news. So it's like a jungle sort of thing.
Sure. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, that's always been one of the great
so-
jingles that even has.
So
there.
I've got the vibrating. Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey news!
Dr. Fox, if you're listening, I think you'll know that's a clear improvement in this show.
So thank you for those.
It's alright.
Honestly.
What did you get him?
What did I get him? I couldn't get him anything. I was too busy buying myself an iPod.
Are you joking?
Well, it's a little bit gay, isn't it, giving gifts to blokes?
Yeah, it is, but for someone who's like major,
Yeah.
Play a record!
Someone who's major? What do you mean, someone who's major? What, because he's a major celebrity?
No, made you.
Oh, made you?
Yeah,
Right.
that's what.
Yeah.
Crazy beat. Blur. Alright? On XFM 104.9.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I also got, Jane got me a few nice presents, including my favourite of all of them, a real bow and arrow.
A real bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Right. And what, you know, you're going to rob from the rich, I and give to the poor.
Yeah! I just got to make the little outfit.
You and your merry men.
She's got me like 2 yards of green felt.
Sure, yeah,
And
yeah.
I've just got to find
And
a
a tree
tailor.
house.
Someone who can make me a lovely little natty outfit.
Yeah. Why has she bought you a bow and arrow? You live in central London, so where are you going to be using
We've got a
this?
garden, I did it yesterday. I've hurt my
Right.
finger though, because I meant to put protective, so it's just, oh, it goes so fast, isn't it?
Sorry, I didn't understand that sentence. I'm here in the studio.
getting
I saw you
excited.
point to your finger, so I'm guessing from that maybe you injured your finger.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
For the listener, again, what exactly were you talking about then?
No, because when you put it back, it...
Okay.
So...
And do you have a target? What do you use
yeah,
as a
I
target?
got a big cardboard box flat on it, down the tree.
Right.
It go, oh, it's brilliant.
Sure.
I'm getting a bit excited thinking about
Yeah,
it.
no, indeed.
Because when I make that outfit, I'm going to be running round.
Yeah.
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 So,
And do you have a picture, like a face maybe on the target, like Osama bin Laden, something
yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Sure.
No, it just says this way up, fragile.
Right. Okay.
I forget what came in it. But, you know, it's good fun, isn't it, Carl? Bow and arrow, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Yeah? Would you like a little bow and arrow?
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah.
Well, I had a rifle as a kid.
Did you?
Yeah,
A real one?
yeah, just shooting cans and stuff.
Yeah.
It's alright. So,
Well, a wonderful anecdote.
Well, I went out with a drink with Carl in the week, and we went to a restaurant, didn't we, Carl?
it's good night.
And we sat there, and next to me, when Carl came, next to me was, what's his name? Ross Kemp. And he was sitting there, and I saw Carl, and I tapped him on the shoulder, Ross tapped him on the shoulder, and I pointed to Carl and him, and I said, it's nice to see you two back together again.
Nice.
And Carl was horrified. But Carl didn't know that I'd already spoken to him before Carl arrived.
Yeah,
so it was-
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was okay. I thought I could break the ice because I've met him before.
Sure.
So he just thought I was insulting him. And in the week we were talking about his head, his little head, weren't we, Carl? And Carl suddenly stopped the conversation and said, if I had hair, what would we be talking about now? I think he'd had enough of everyone talking about it. And he looked good, though. It's a special little do. He had it sort of, you know, cropped a little bit more. I like it when he's just freshly had it done.
Mm.
Do you like... Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you, Steve? If you're somewhere, say if you sat somewhere, does someone sort of, you know, is he anyone else who you look like, or would you say you're a bit of a one-off?
I love these two.
But to be fair,
So right.
but no, but wait, to be fair, he seems to be having a go at me an awful lot more than I do at him now. I mean, he just starts it. You know, he
I
just
think-
starts it out of nowhere.
I think his is sort of a get back for the way you treat him as a producer, not, you know.
But he's not a producer. If he produced the show, I wouldn't have a reason to criticise. But
I think this is it. Oh,
But
God.
seriously, I mean, it really winds me up now because, you know, it started as a joke, but now it's abuse.
Yeah. He got annoyed at Heat because it said Carl, producer, well, not so much a producer, as just a bald mank. And he went, can they say that?
Yeah.
Can they say that?
See, that's a magazine, an independent publication has identified what exactly it is you do.
Yeah.
There we go then, go on, bring it on, because here we go, he's looking at me, I know he's thinking, I can hear the cogs
I'm not
working.
thinking anything.
It's vicious.
That is true. Never a true word. Play a record.
Now then, I heard this on VH1 in the week, and I have not been able to get it out of my head, and I really kind of want to, I want to get it in everyone else's mind now so they understand the pain I've been going through. Miss You by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
I hope that's now embedded in your brain and you can ruin a week by having to sing that constantly, irritating people in shops and everywhere you go. Miss You by the Rolling Stones.
Good track. Good track. Carl, Jonathan Ross came out of this last week, and we were talking about stuff, and Carl was mesmerised when Jonathan told a story that he was bored once in a hotel room and shaved his arse.
He shaved his arse?
Yeah.
Sure.
And Carl, you didn't stop questioning him, did you, for about...
I just wondered, at what point do you sort of say, oh, this is getting on my nerves? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's way too long. Took it in his socks or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not, I mean, it is boring in hotel rooms, because I told you before about when I was in Edinburgh and had nothing to do, there was nothing on the telly, and you sort of, you've eaten the shortbread biscuits and that.
Yeah.
And so that's when I read the phone book to see how many...
That's when you read the phone book?
Well, to see how many Macs were in Scotland, McAteer, Macintosh,
Yeah.
and there was like, 42 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan, I don't know if he'd already done that.
Yeah.
And, he said he shaved his arse.
Now, when we say shaved his arse...
Not his cheeks,
Oh, all of it?
yeah, all of it.
Did he say that?
Well, I think that's...
But other than the cheeks,
But then,
there's
then
not much left, is
But
there?
then we got to the fact that me and Jonathan, if we pooled our wealth, we could have shaved Carl's arse for £1,000.
Right.
And he said, yeah, for £1,000 you can shave my arse. Suzanne said, can I say this bit?
Your girlfriend said what, Carl?
She was annoyed. She said, well, I'm not allowed to go there. Why is anyone else? And of course, the whole table stopped and leant in and said, what? So he doesn't like me touching him there.
To the health charities, like cancer, for instance, because there's that fear that I might get it.
Well, yeah, it's not just that. It's just like, yeah, if you're not healthy, that's the first thing, isn't it? If your life's being threatened, there's nothing else you can really worry about.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I don't know if that makes it wrong though. That I'm sort of, it's like I'm investing in a possible future.
Yeah. Well, not really, because it's the same for everyone, isn't it? But
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
oh,
I saw a homeless guy as well, looking through the bins, but he wasn't pulling out food and scraps. He was pulling out newspapers, just having a read.
yeah.
I was always found that odd. I see that a lot, homeless guys. I don't know if they're just checking out the TV listings. Or when he finally gets his
When's The Office
cable.
on?
Yeah.
Yeah, The Office. They've moved it. They've moved it to Choice and UK Gold.
I don't blame him, because, I mean, there is some cracking stuff on cable TV. Some great stuff. But I was flipping through the other day, and on digital TV, you can see what other shows are on while you're watching something. I was flipping through, and there was one, and it was called... Now, when are you ever in the mood to watch a TV show called I Survived a £200 Tumour?
When was that on?
Because it seems to me that if you've got a £200 tumour, you probably want to watch something else that'll take your mind off it, Big
Hold
Brother,
on,
whatever.
I'm not £200.
Well, I can't imagine what this is.
A £200 tumour.
It must have been an error. £200 tumour?
It must have been a £200 tuna. It was probably someone fell in the water.
Yeah.
And it came
I
at him.
survived a £200 tuna.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
just a spelling mistake.
Sure.
A £200 tumour.
That's like, isn't that like kind of having
That's
Mr.
another
T
person. That
attached
is
to
another
it, yeah.
person. Maybe. Oh my God. Maybe it was all his life they told him it was a Siamese twin, but someone had just painted a little face on it
Yeah,
when he was at school.
just drawn a little face on it,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, and they go, "It's not your twin brother." I goes, "Isn't it?" He goes, "No, it's a tumour. We better take it off. It's £200."
£200.
That can't be right. You sure it wasn't £20 tumour?
I'm assuming that's what it probably would have been. But it was certainly £200 on the digital thing. Maybe that's a mistake.
That's great, isn't it? They're trying to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
This is someone at Carl got there. £20 tumour. Let's make it 200. At least they're watch.
Exactly.
That's what I'd be like, though. I wouldn't want to go to the doctors. You know what I'm like? I'd sort of...
£200 tumour.
I know. It's just that thing, I mean... You know what I'm like. I don't like. It depends where it is as well. Taking your clothes off and all that. There's some pressure in it.
You don't like anything being touched, do you?
I
I
just
remember
don't
when he
like-
said
don't like doctors.
he doesn't check his balls, he doesn't like the feel. That's live with me. He doesn't like the feel. I think. Do you mean that you don't like what it feels like in your balls when you're fiddling with them? Because I imagined it that you meant you don't like the feel in your fingertips. You don't like the feel of your balls.
It's the thing of you start thinking about what you're actually touching, and there's something in there, and you might break them and all that. I don't like.
They are delicate. I am scared with the little knobbly bits. Yeah.
What knobbly bits?
Ah!
But I'll tell you what, it's that thought at the doctor's. It's that thing of it's not taking your clothes off in front of him, right? It's the way you've got to take your clothes off, but he asks you to go behind that curtain to do it first.
Yeah.
So there's more pressure because then you come walking out with nothing on. Right. So it's like, why do you ask me to go behind there?
Yeah.
Rather than if I just sat there having a chat and he's going, so
Yeah.
how have you been? It's like, all right, and just taking the pants off.
Yeah,
And then
exactly, yeah.
It's the
What was
pressure.
it, don't take your clothes off, and you came out and he lit a candle, and there was
Yeah.
some soft music on.
The lights were down.
Nice.
Yeah. Or he said, if it'll make you feel more relaxed, I'll take my clothes off.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But I'll do it in the form of a striptease.
Now, Carl, I'm going to ask you the question, knowing the answer. What do you think of maybe a gay doctor just checking his testicles out? He's a professional, he just happens to be gay.
That would never happen, would it?
What are you talking about? Why not?
Oh, speaking of,
Go on. Doctors.
no, gay
What?
people and that. Do you know when we discussed gay-only toilets?
Yeah?
It's only, it looks like it's coming into action.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
No way.
It was mentioned again
Where?
on,
Your head.
no, I think
Do
it
you
was on-
think that people in positions of power are listening to this show getting ideas from you?
Tony Blair.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? No, it really does. And the funny thing is, why are they getting upset? Why are gay people getting upset that they might have to have their own toilets?
Carl, you don't know what you're talking about anymore.
You don't
They're
know
having a
what
sly look.
You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, can we have Cheeky Freak after this?
If you want.
Placebo. This picture on XFM 104.9. Steve, you're thinking of taking over as producer, aren't you?
Well, I just think it's a shambles. I've asked for Cheeky Freak of the Week, and it appears that Carl's not ready. He's not prepared.
No, I can sort of remember it. It's just that I like to have all the
Contempt.
information.
Contempt for
But
the
you've just
listener.
had about you've just had a whole bunch of adverts and placebo
I
in
know,
order to get it ready.
we're chatting, we're having a chat and that.
Right. Do you want to sort yourself out in future?
Yeah. This is what we were chatting about. Someone emailed in about they watched the £200 tumour thing, and when it was removed, it was carried away in a wheelbarrow, right? Carl said, what, even when she had it removed, she still carried it round in a wheelbarrow? And he went, I thought it's sort of like she'd become attached to it. You definitely are my favourite thing in the world. It's great. Look at the way he's looking back.
But I think they're all the same. The people. I mean, I have had more emails about people saying I watched the £200 tumour
And I
documentary
shaved me arse.
than anything else.
I know.
When we ask
We
questions
come
about
up with
science,
science,
Shakespeare,
we talk, yeah.
Nothing,
We talk
nothing,
High
silence.
concept, we talk about political issues.
one person emailed in. They said I tuned into the £200 tumour documentary. It looked disgusting. I couldn't watch for long. What were you expecting?
Yeah.
That it might sing and dance? Do a little show for you?
Oh,
Anyway, so what's the
these are
situa-
really your listeners, Carl, now. I think you know what I mean? You sort of, you find your niche, you attract your... I think me and Steve are pretty much just here.
I think the people that we had in the early days, Rick, they've long since abandoned us. They jumped ship.
They've got
proper
jobs.
fans. Yeah.
They've got jobs. They're out now. They've been released.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're getting
Yeah.
their life back together.
Carl,
Come
so
on then,
what's the
Carl.
situation with Cheeky Freak?
I've got like a couple of bits. Like I say, I haven't got the in-depth stuff that I know.
Oh no, because usually it's it's
Heavily
pretty
researched.
scientific. Exactly, yeah. Do the jingle. We've come up with a new one, haven't we?
The Freak! Say chic.
Cheeky freak of the week.
Right. Well, couple of bits. I don't know which one to use as the main feature for this week.
It's that good, is it?
Well, there's been another one born.
What?
Little kid.
You go on.
4 eyes.
Insult? Just a guy who wears glasses. Come on.
4 eyes. 2 noses. 2 mouths. That's weird. Isn't it?
This bloke, did he also have 2 heads, 2 bodies? Sort of born sort of slightly separately?
He wasn't stood next to a mirror.
No, it's weird that, isn't it?
That's all you've got, is it?
I love that. That's weird. And imagine if the doctor said that. Well, Mrs. Parks, kid's got 4 eyes and 2 noses. Weird, isn't it? Any clues? Any clues?
So that's
it.
That's all the
one.
information
Well, I'll
you've
tell you
got.
what,
but
that
again-
should be the main one. Okay,
No,
I've answered
but
it.
like I say, what's the idea of this feature? What do I say all the time?
Don't know.
I always say, think about it. Think about what that would be like.
Okay.
What? Giving birth to him?
No. Being, I think it's a girl. Being like her. 2 mouths. 4 eyes. What would that be like? Mad, innit?
I don't know what this feature is.
I don't know why. Is there another one? Is that you said?
I mean,
two.
I hope everyone took the opportunity there during that silence to just think about what it would be like. I know I was.
Could she talk with a mouthful?
What?
Is that allowed?
Because she's got 2 mouths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be alright in her house?
She'd be eating with
Yeah,
one,
she could
something
talk with one mouth and eat with the other. I
Right, but
suppose.
listen, the main one, right? You've thought about that. That's good. The main cheeky freak of the week. I haven't got all the details. Smallest person ever. Right? How big would you say that is?
Carl is now sort of like holding his hands up like a fisherman, long ways. That's about 1 foot.
Right. Smallest man in the world. I printed the thing off and I can't find it. There's a little picture of him. Right. The odd thing was,
But why have you asked me? How did it say, or was it a picture of him?
I didn't really read it.
Of course you
Oh,
didn't.
for
Of course you didn't.
Jesus!
I just saw it and thought, oh, that's
What?
that's
You
that done,
straight
that's
away
sorted.
assumed it was natural size.
It was that big.
But what do you mean it was that big?
Little fella like that.
But why are you doing that? What? It was a page with a little fella. How do you know that was natural size?
No, it was because it said it's world's smallest man. And the funny thing is, I've read the first line. I always read the first line. It said world's
Well
smallest
done.
man.
Well done.
The weird thing is, he got an head like a light bulb. The shape of it, apparently. I don't know if that's got anything to do with his shape and size.
Oh God!
That big.
His name's Mr. Watts.
And the annoying thing is, what got me is, if you're that big,
Yeah.
right, don't have your picture taken next to a fruit bowl.
Why was he having his photo taken next to a fruit bowl?
Don't know. Whoever the photographer was, obviously having a bit of a laugh
Yeah.
at his expense. Because you would just stand in the middle of nowhere, you'd look normal and that, but he was stood there, just leaning on an apple.
Leaning on an apple?
What is this? In what world do you
Well,
inhabit?
this was on the internet. And I printed it
Leaning
off.
on an apple? Was it Tom Thumb? What is this? Are you sure it wasn't some sort of sci-fi show they're advertising?
No, it was
Leaning on it. Can you, sorry, can you just lean on the apple? Just lean on the apple there. Do me a favour, will you stand next to my chihuahua? You're not taking the piss, are you? No, not at all, no. Would you mind leaning on this matchbox?
Yeah.
Leaning on an apple. And that's what, so it just said he's the world's smallest man leaning on an apple.
smallest man, said about his head being like a light bulb. I don't know what that meant. And I just thought, right, that'll do. That's that sorted. Cheeky Freak of the Week done. I think that was on like Monday. Right? I found that. I thought that's done. Printed it off. Forgot to get it off the photocopier. Someone's nicked it.
Play a record.
That you got to...
You know, it's just, Steve.
No, can I just say,
there's no
no, Carl,
point.
please,
There's no
if I
point.
say, let's have Cheeky Freak of the Week, and you haven't done your research, you haven't got the information, just tell us you can't do it. But don't lead us on.
Don't say things
in
like
this
on
charade.
radio, hold your hand up to me and go, how tall is that?
It's nothing.
That's
This is
radio.
nothing.
It's nothing. I think it was that big because he was leaning on an apple.
It's not enough information.
But, imagine Trevor McDonald coming on, going some news, some stuff. How big's that? How big do you think that is?
Yeah.
Because there was a fella, coming up after Chris Tarrant. Play a record.
I'm angry. I'm actually angry. And if Monkey News is in any way similar, you've really pulled your finger out with that, have you? Mm-hmm. Good. Let's have Rockbusters answers next.
Supersonic, Oasis on XFM 104.9. Right, getting through it. It's the Rockbusters. It's the Rockbusters results, really, because this is a very important result. It's whether they stay in the Premiership or are relegated. This is the playoffs for Carl. Okay? You need 3 points. You need 3 points to stay up, Carl. Go on.
Right, there are a lot of right answers in that.
Right, okay, that's in your favour. You know. Okay.
The first clue was the doctor said part of the foot and the leg was no good, so he took them off, he threw them away.
Yeah.
The initials TB,
Yeah.
right?
Go on.
Toe, knee, bin it.
You touched your arse once and you went, whoa, hands off.
Yeah.
I love you, but keep your hands away from the arse.
Do you know why he said he's talking about the most intimate part of the arse, the middle arse he's talking about, and he said, I said, why? He went, it's a bit gay, innit? I said, how can a girl touching it be a bit gay?
If you stood behind you, it could be anyone, right?
Oh, God. And it seemed, I mean, you can imagine the conversations we were having, right? And it's that thing that the waitress heard something every time she came over. She heard the word, like,
Yeah.
cock or...
Jonathan Ross saying I shaved my arse.
yeah. And, oh, dear. But it was, yeah, it was a good night, wasn't it? So, it's the £1,000 now, isn't it? But presumably you give Suzanne half anyway, so everyone will be happy. You've used the arse to best effect. She's got half out of it, so she's made as much out of your arse as you have, in a sense. Me and Jonathan are happy.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's his arse on the line. So...
I know, but I mean, you know, it's just not like she's getting a bum deal.
Well,
she's
no.
getting 500, you know,
Yeah.
quid.
No, I
you know.
understand that.
But, do you reckon?
Just thinking of some more.
Play a record.
Can I just ask, before you play a record, if we were to shave your arse, let's say we did it for charity or something, got sponsorship, how would we do it? Would we use one of those big kind of old-fashioned razors?
No, I'd use a Bic Safety. I'd just straight
And
away...
would you use a gel or a foam?
No, I first of all, yeah, I think I just, lather it up. Right,
So you'd
with
lather
foam.
up his arse first?
I
yeah.
do the outside bits, just goes straight down, big broad strokes, clean, right? Then I'd have to go in the crevices, and I'd need an assistant. I'd pop it apart, and just very gently go in there. I might even use electronic equipment, just so there was no sort of, like, nicks.
Okay.
So,
So an electric razor?
or I might wax the internal middle arse.
How did Jonathan do it? Because he did it on his own, didn't he?
I just use mirrors. Why don't I'll ask him. We'll call him later. But, I don't know.
Well, perhaps you listening have once shaved your arse, maybe during an exam or something.
But
You were particularly bored.
what I think, and this is conjecture, but I think he was probably there, he'd had a shower, he's shaved his face, right, and thought, well, he was naked, looks down and goes, oh, what a hairy arse. Well, hold on, I've got the razor in this hand, I've got the mirror there, you know, I'm not on stage for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah.
There's one thing I don't like going on stage with, is a hairy arse. Bang, drink, wallop, done. On stage, thanks, see you later. See you next week. Yeah? What are you thinking, Cole?
No, it's just how airy was it? Do you know what I mean? How airy was it? Because I imagine, I mean, you're saying mirrors and stuff, but he's I mean, how old is he now? He's
42.
odd. And they say your testicles drop quite a bit once you start getting old, don't
Yeah.
they? So he's got to make sure they're out of the way. Tuck them
Yeah,
to one
but
side.
I don't think. I mean, I can speak for myself. You know, as a similar age to Jonathan, that I mean, you know, there's millimetres in it. It's not like we tuck them in our socks in the morning. Okay. They're still in the same place. You really wouldn't know the difference. It wouldn't if we filmed it in, you know, time-lapse camera. It wouldn't be like a bungee jump. Do you know what I mean? They wouldn't be moving a lot.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you think I told him he's a good-looking fella, Steve. Would you agree with that?
I told Jonathan that he said that he just went for it as well.
Yeah. So you've spent a lot of time picturing Jonathan's
Arse.
naked arse.
You'd let him give you money for arse touchery.
Yeah, whereas your girlfriend's got
No
access
chance.
to it.
And you're saying he's a good-looking man. Do you want to play a record and think about what you've done?
Interesting.
All the energetic people, they all sparkle as they're walking down the street. Can't see their faces.
50 Cent, 21 Questions, new single from him.
Well, me and Carl got a joint favourite lyric now. I love you like a fat kid loves cake.
Yeah.
That's great, isn't it?
Brilliant.
But, I mean, I like it because it's funny and humorous and cheeky. You like it because it means something, don't you? You think that that's the absolute truth. If someone was to say that to you, that would be the most romantic thing they could say in it, because it's...
No, I'm just thinking you know what it means. It's like the Elephant Man. Right? The Elephant Man, that's what it's called. Again, you know what you're going to get. The fat kid loves cake. You've said it all, you don't have to say any more.
I can't believe it. I'll tell you what made his day the other day.
I love it.
Jonathan Ross said The Elephant Man is one of the best films ever made.
Yeah. Endorsed by a celebrity.
I know. Well, by a film buff, really.
It is good though, isn't it?
It is a very good film, yeah.
We have got Cheeky Freak of the Week. coming
Oh,
up.
right.
There's
It's
been
on
a
the subject of
lot
freak.
of stuff going on this week.
In the freak world.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, there's loads. I mean, stuff that we can... The one that hasn't made it,
God, this is what it hasn't made it, so we judge it on that. Go on.
there's a woman, right? Do you know how, I mean, in a way, I thought Elephant Man, it was a bit tight because, you know, we sort of took him on a freak show, did a bit of a road show with him and stuff.
Yeah.
There's some woman, I think she's in India, like now, who makes a lot of money because she's got 3 legs and like 7 toes stuff. And she was saying people pay quite a lot of money.
Not
I mean-
Squiddy Patel.
It's not that much money like compared to here, but over there it's
Yeah.
like loads of money.
Sure.
And all you do is you go around to her house and you pay this lot of money, and people just go, oh, look at that, look at that,
Extra leg.
look at that.
Right.
It's quite a lot of money in that.
So she hasn't even got to go out on the road anymore, like in the old days.
No,
People
that's,
come
what,
to
that's
her.
what annoyed me. It's like, well, you could get to them faster. You go and see them if they're paying the money.
Sure.
Oh.
But yeah, there's...
What she could do is go in and buy a pair of shoes, right, and then nick one on the way out, because they only put one out, don't they?
Good idea.
So she could get, you know, 2, 3 for the price of 2.
Just one of the many perks of having
Just
3
one
legs.
of the benefits of having 3 legs. The other one is, I mean, keepy uppy. But she'd be good at that,
She doesn't
wouldn't
do
she?
that. She just stays at home, puts her feet up.
But anyway, that's not even Cheeky Freak of the
Not
Week.
Cheeky
that's-
Freak, that's coming up later.
Coming up later.
Oh, brilliant.
Now, Rockbusters, dead in the water, isn't it? We've killed that off, have we officially?
We killed off Monkey News and Rockbusters.
Didn't I tell you that there was some sort of petition for Monkey News?
Was there? What was the
Caused
story?
a lot of there's loads of emails and that.
You mean
saying-
you've done Monkey News? You mean you want to do Monkey News?
No, but seriously, there's uproar, and people were like, "You can't get rid of Monkey News.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that."
Who sort of what?
Loads of people.
Was it monkeys? Trying to write the complete works of Shakespeare?
Did Tony Blair get a whiff of it, and he's coming
So
down
we're
like a
doing
ton of
Monkey
bricks?
News. And Rockbusters, Steve, if you've got a better competition, then we'll do yours. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? If that's what you want to do, we'll do. What did you want to do?
No, I was just wondering whether we should perhaps not do a quiz at all rather than do that piece of rubbish. Might be better to have nothing. Might be better just to have silence during that part of the show than have Rockbusters.
How
I don't
about
know.
If
We
I
should
give you
discuss it
the,
off
if I
air.
give you the clues and that, and if you think they sound rubbish, we're not doing it.
Well, I know that. I guarantee they're going to sound rubbish. All right, let's make it the last Rockbusters then. This is the last Rockbusters.
Well, it depends. This is it. Okay, this is just. If it's good, you get a reprieve. It's all about this. Okay.
Okay.
Go on then. Let's do Rockbusters then.
Oh, we're doing it now.
Should we play a record and do it after that?
Do it after. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the prizes and then we'll come back with the clues.
Because I've dug up that REM track,
Excellent.
so it's an interactive show.
Okay, we've got the best summer holiday album ever. What have we got on there? It's got
Brilliant.
Elvis versus Junkie XL. That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Holly Valance is on there.
Yeah.
Laz Ketchup. It's all the stuff that the XFM listener is
hear-
craving.
I
A tribute to the Ramones album. We got
got.
Red Hot Chili Peppers are on there. Metallica. Street Legal from Bob Dylan. That's nice.
Brilliant.
Did you just buy that in the 4 for £20 from HMV deal? Fair enough. Once
That's a
again,
good album.
The Talons of Weng Chiang, a Doctor Who classic.
Yeah.
And there's something for the XFM listener. 8 Mile on DVD.
I
as
thought
well.
that was nice. That film. The last bit was funny. It's a good film.
Some good rap-offs in that as well.
Yeah.
So let's play a tune and then we'll come back with the Rockbusters clues.
REM. Go on. Give it to him.
Your eyes are burning, hopes
REM. Electrolyte.
I'm out of
On
here.
XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. I walk down Oxford Street every day to go to the office, and it is like running the gauntlet in
It's really-
Gladiator. It's not only is it just like, you know, you have to dodge people and they're dawdling or rushing or, you know, keeping into the road to get past some people but avoiding taxis, but it's like hands everywhere, like leaflets. I don't know, there must be 1 million leaflets given out. It's all
Mobile phones, sandwich shops.
teach yourself English.
Yeah. Teach other people English.
I know, and those charity people, something for Alzheimer's, and I've been caught about 6 times where I couldn't say no. I've got about 8 standing orders now because I just couldn't say no when they confront you.
Yes.
Which is, you know,
It's amazing how often I'm on the way to a meeting. I'm always on my way to a meeting, and then I always feel guilty if I walk past them again 2 minutes later with a HMV bag.
Yeah, full.
Yeah, exactly, crammed with bargains.
I know, yeah.
No,
But,
it's absolutely weird. They're like zombies. It's like you're fighting them off. You need a flaming torch to
Yeah.
get past them. Or if it's not them, it's tourists. Just constantly, excuse me, can you take my photo outside HMV? Or outside Topshop?
that doesn't happen to me. a
Oh,
lot.
okay. Always seem to have tourists.
I
Just
think
in the
I
way,
walk-
just kind of dawdling,
But
looking
I
up
walk
at the
so
buildings.
fast. I walk so fast. I put my head down and I just try and walk so fast everywhere now because it's But Oxford Street is just it's unbelievable now, and I think it's age that I've started noticing. Even if the windows open, I hear just like cars and they're on the mobile phone. It's the loudest place in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know what we can do.
Well, isn't it one of the
Can't-
busiest streets in... Is it either the world
The
or...
universe?
It is mental.
I think if we carpeted it
that would
and
help,
put some
certainly.
curtains up, it would just deaden. It's like pubs with those polished floors and metal tables, and everyone's having to talk like that to be heard. The jukebox is quite loud, and I want to go just turn everything down.
yeah.
Let's put some carpet down. Just talk quietly like this.
Yeah.
Let's put the music down a little bit. We'll have a good time.
I've never quite understood that impulse. I don't know, again, if it's age, where you go in a club or a pub, as you say, and the music's just slightly too loud. So it just makes everything slightly tricky. It's slightly tricky to have a
I know.
conversation.
But what annoys me is when it's for the amusement of the barman or barmaid.
Yeah.
If they're bored, they're in a pub, they've got the music up, their music up,
Yeah.
right, techno blaring, right, they've got a telly on, watching a soap opera,
Yeah.
and I want to go, choose one or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you watching?
I got a minicab last night. I imagine you don't travel in minicabs, but the guy driving, one of those guys, I know he's driving a cab on a Friday night. Okay, no one wants to be doing that. And he had one of those phone, the little earpieces that you put in, so it looks like they're talking to themselves. And he's there, and he goes, where are you going?
We've got Monkey News, we've got Rockbusters. Have we got a Cheeky Freak of the Week this week?
Could cram it in, see how we do.
Do we want to hear the end of Carl's story?
Yeah, what's
I really
this?
wanna
So
hear the end
the
of your mum's
kid,
story.
little Timmy and his 15-year-old dog Lucky, got a bit bored with it.
Right, so he said, oh, Mum, this dog's rubbish and that, I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
So she goes,
How old were you when your mum was telling you this story?
don't know, about 4.
Okay.
It wasn't last week on holiday.
No,
Right, so she goes, oh, all right then, we'll get you another one.
Yeah.
She goes, brilliant.
What did you do with the old one?
Just kept it, but didn't sort of play with it. Or anything.
Just ostracised it until it
Yeah.
left of its own free will, or curled up and died.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
So,
What'd
so
you get him? What sort of dog?
I think it was a little baby, like Labrador.
Puppy.
Little puppy, yeah.
Yeah, Labrador.
Right.
Good one. Good choice for a second dog.
So,
Yeah.
so
I'm
anyway,
loving this story.
It's a great
I am
story.
actually loving this story.
So,
Where does he live?
I don't know, it didn't matter. Didn't matter. It was
Well-
near a lake.
Well, that's where they were getting rid of all the
Yeah.
dogs. Sure.
Yeah.
We're getting that'll make sense in a minute, right? So, so he's got the little dog. He's playing around with it. He's playing with its belly and stuff. He's thinking this is brilliant, best dog I've ever had, right? And the other dog sat in the corner looking all fed up,
Yeah.
right? So,
I like this story.
so he says to his mum, right, I'm taking little puppy down the park,
Yeah.
and she goes, well, take the old one with you. And he goes, oh, do we have to?
It's a moral, isn't it? I bet the old one saves him.
So he goes, oh, do we have to? She goes, yeah, it still needs a walk and that. It's crapping all over the house, right?
Yeah.
So takes it down the park, right? And he's playing around, and he's playing near the lake, right?
Is the puppy near the lake, Carl? Because this is what's worrying me.
Yeah.
Puppy's near the lake,
Yeah.
right? That jumps in.
Yeah.
The kid goes, oh, God, he jumps in. Remembers he can't swim,
Yeah. Idiot.
right?
This kid is based on you, isn't it?
Almost certainly.
Flapping about. Water's going everywhere. He's going, I can't, oh, God. And he wants the puppy to help him, but the puppy's just, like, drowning as well.
Yeah.
The old dog comes up, drags them both out. He goes, I can't believe it. I said I was fed up with you.
Yeah.
You've saved my life.
Yeah.
He gets home, and he says to his mum,
Kill the
"Get
little
rid of
one.
the puppy."
Kill the puppy.
So it's good little. Good
What
little
does he
story.
say when he gets home?
He said, "I don't need the puppy now. I'm happy
Brilliant.
with
Brilliant. Genius.
it." It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. So the moral of that story is
Well, they
just
show-
follow your whims.
They just yeah. If you get bored and get another puppy.
Get another dog.
If you get bored with the old one again, just do it again. I mean,
Yeah.
just eventually, get something
Yeah,
that you
learn your
like for a
dogs,
little.
who cares?
Yeah. That's brilliant. That is a brilliant story, though.
Right. So that's that. Rockbusters.
Yes.
I don't want you to have monkey news right now because we've just had a little story there.
Sure.
You don't want to. Don't want to go too far. Yeah, go on.
So we'll get Rockbusters out of the way. Have we got a winner?
Yeah,
well,
come on then. See, it worries me that we've had very few entries. I think that even your mental fans aren't getting these, which is really worrying. They must be terrible clues this week.
All right. Well,
Has anyone got them right, Steve?
I think there's just one guy, yeah, who I suspect has won in the past. but
Well,
there we are.
so what?
Right, the first one. If you go out of France by boat, you might as well buy your fags when you're on that, because you'll get them a lot cheaper.
Brilliant.
Right?
Yeah.
BF.
Yeah.
Buy it ferry. Right? That's like
What?
buy on ferry.
What?
Buy on
What's
ferry.
Brian Ferry? What's that? Is that a band?
What?
What is it? I don't know what it is.
Brian Ferry.
Brian Ferry? What's that got to do with buying on a ferry, though?
Just because it's quite close to it. Buy on. Buy on ferry.
What?
Buy on ferry.
Sorry, what?
That's the
What's your
first one.
first language?
The second one.
That's rubbish. That doesn't count.
No, of course not.
Brian Ferry.
Brian Ferry, Brian Ferry.
There's this little foreign cafe. It's growing its own steak. That's Delamitri. The third one.
What? Sorry, what? What is that? What is that? Delamitri.
Delhi is a little foreign cafe.
Yeah?
A meat tree and that.
A meat tree. A meat tree. What were the initials for that?
Just D for that.
Just D for that.
Yeah.
So not DA.
So you didn't even give him a chance to get the group.
Oh, they got it.
Well, no.
No, they didn't. Right, it's the end. Go on, right. Go on.
Delhi meat tree.
Delhi meat tree. One word. D. Or any letter.
They're growing their own meat.
M's in it. Go on. Okay, so Bayern. I love Bayern Ferry. And
Can I just point out, Rick-
Oxymusic was brilliant.
Can I just-
I love Oxymusic. Go on.
Can I just point out, Rick, that we've had
David Bowie?
Delhi meat tree.
Yeah.
I don't see why necessarily Aidan, who emailed in, why he doesn't get to win, because he emailed in dire steaks. Seems to me just as valid, as far as I can tell, but
Yeah.
Delhi meat tree it is.
And the last one, if there was a Jamaican fella on the Titanic.
I'm looking forward to
This
this.
is good.
With a little bit of fear.
Jamaican fella, if he was on the Titanic, he probably would have screamed this.
Yeah.
That's Christ de Burgh.
Oh, I don't know what to do. Stunning.
So who's the winner?
I'm not going to give it to anyone. I just don't. I
So
think,
what's the Jamaican bit got to do with it?
Just the D. Just Christ de Burgh.
Say it again.
No, I think they've worked it out now.
What's got to say it again?
Christ de Burgh.
And who's that?
What?
Who's that?
Who's what?
Who's Christ de Berg?
Chris de Burgh. Who's the winner, Steve?
do you know what? I'm going to give it to
So-
Aidan. Because he just treated you with nothing but contempt. Steve Martin emailed in again. He got the first two, and then the last one he just emailed, I neither know nor care about this answer. I'm tempted to give him. He's one
Do you know what
in
you've done there, don't you?
Go on.
You've put the nail in the coffin of Rockbusters. I warned you for 3 weeks, and you sort of bucked your ideas up for a little while. But Christ de
Those are the
Berg-
worst you've ever done.
the worst Delamitri. So and didn't just put D, and then Bayern Ferry. Bayern Ferry. Bayern Ferry.
So, is that it then? Aren't we doing it
Play
anymore?
record.
Aren't we doing it anymore?
I'm ashamed.
You're an idiot.
Are we doing it anymore?
I'm just going to keep saying you're an idiot.
Play a
Are
record.
we doing
Carl,
it
have
anymore?
you learnt nothing from Dr. Fox?
Yeah.
That's not a Sony out the window.
Huh?
Aren't we doing it anymore?
What, you need to start working on it now because they're so good. You need to start working now for next Saturday.
Aren't we doing it anymore?
Just, I don't know.
Aren't we doing it?
Cardigans. You're the Storm on XFM 104.9. Well, nearly the end of the show, but we wouldn't let them down, would we? You know what it is now, don't you? Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right. Now, whilst I was in Cornwall, I wasn't online. Right? I didn't have the internet, so it was like, oh, what am I going to do? And I didn't come back till yesterday. And I thought there's loads going on that I don't know about in the monkey world and stuff. I was hoping to get some from the zoo that I was meant to be going to. Of course, that didn't happen. So I said to my dad, do you know anything about monkeys? Or have you got any stories with monkeys?
Brilliant. This is what Trevor McDonald does.
Turned out,
Quarter to 10, he goes,
Yeah.
got nothing. Dad, anything happened? You got anything politics? Anything politics, Dad?
This isn't monkey news. I'm just giving you this free.
Yeah, brilliant.
Turned out one of his mates used to have a chimp.
Right.
What do you mean? One of his mates used to have a chimp?
Well, two of his mates. Mind you,
Oh,
one
sorry.
wasn't
Yeah,
his mate, one wasn't his mate.
I was thinking it sounds a bit far fetched living in Manchester, like. But if there was two of them,
He had a chimp. Had to thump it in the head.
For doing what? Answering back.
oh God!
Tried it on with his wife.
Had to thump it in the head for trying it on with his wife. I love it. I love it. It's a proper fist fight in a pub in Manchester. Oh,
I'd call him up, but he's one of them who like swears all the time.
oh.
I mean, it'd be good to get him on and just
Let's interview him. Can we not interview him pre-record? We can bleep out the swear, and I'd love to hear his
do
story.
a lot of work. That.
Yeah. Well, we're not scared of work,
No,
are
I
we,
mean,
Steve?
I'll
You
get
know.
myself if you can't be bothered.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know.
I'll
So.
have a word. I'll sort it out.
Yeah, try and
Yeah,
sort that out
yeah.
for next
You
week.
sort that out. Yeah.
Well, don't
yeah.
tell us the rest of the story then. Let's let him say it in his own
No,
words.
but there was another one as well. Some
When you
fella-
say you can get him on, but he swears a lot, you mean the monkey? I'm assuming he's more coherent than your dad's mate.
but there's him, and there's some other fella who he knows who had a funny name. I'll have to find out because you'll love his name. But he was a drag artist,
Yeah.
and I think he said my dad went round one day. I don't know why. Right, went round there, knocked on the door, chimpanzeed.
Carl, I don't know what you're doing, mate. I don't know where this place you live. Next door, there's an horse in the front room. There's chimps
Mad,
running
innit?
round.
Mad. Anyway,
Chimpanzee!
Is that it? Is that the end of the story? There's a chimpanzee in the door, and that's the end.
You sure it wasn't the drag artist before he'd shaved?
no,
Sure, it
no,
wasn't your gran.
Because I like the really airy ones that decide they can be female impersonators. Yeah, your gran.
Anyway,
Go on then. This is the monkey news. So you got that for free. What's this going to be like,
Well, let's
Steve?
have more jingles.
Okay. Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey news extra.
Okay.
right. Another phrase. We've been talking about phrases today.
Yeah, we have,
Don't touch
yeah.
your granny when she's shaving.
Yeah.
Don't teach your granny to suck eggs.
Yeah.
Don't look a horse in the mouth.
Yeah. Don't let the chimpanzee the door if you're tucking your cock in.
Familiar with the phrase monkey business?
No, never heard that one before, Carl. That's brilliant.
Right, well, it came about. This has been emailed in, and I haven't really had a chance to look at it, so I'm just weighing it up now. Yeah,
It's the biggest shambles on air, isn't it? Really?
Oh, I'm ashamed of it.
I mean, what was Dr. Fox? Dr. Fox must have been really polite. He must have been thinking, I don't know how to put this. He must have wanted to scream and go, you shouldn't be in the radio authority.
My parents listen online. I can't look them in the eye.
Right, I think I've weighed it up. Long time ago, right?
Yeah.
In the
Olden days, yeah.
in
Go on.
the Amazon jungle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Little family of monkeys in there, right? Having a good life, right? Didn't have any predators in there, right? So they were loving it.
Yeah.
They had a load of food around them. They had loads of banana trees,
Yeah.
right?
No, I don't think so.
No, they did.
Sorry. Yeah.
Everything's going great. So they're happy in that. They go to bed,
Okay.
wake up in the morning, load of bananas gone.
Ooh, hang on, interesting.
Hold on, wait a minute.
So
Either your dad's been around, or...
This isn't the great Amazon banana robbery, is it?
So anyway, turns out it was another load of monkeys from another part of the island, from the rough bit.
From the rough bit, I love it. They wandered into a middle class area.
they're the
that
ones
is-
with the earrings and the leather jackets.
Oh, that is brilliant. From a rough part of the island. I was just going to correct you on you've got to be good at maths. Yeah. What? Algebra, quantum physics, what?
No, just adding up.
Adding up to 15. Brilliant.
I mean,
You can
that's-
almost do it on your fingers.
my dad's-
You could in Cornwall.
Yeah.
But my dad's really good at maths, and like he said, how many have you got? And he always counts his, and it's like 15 2, 15 4, 15 6, 3 for your at, 1 and all that. Do you know what I mean? And he adds it up really
One
quick.
for his knob.
Right, so I was like, right, hang on a minute. And he goes, no, what do you mean, hang on? I don't know, what have you got? He says, oh, forget it. I said, this isn't fun if you're going to start getting all arty with me.
Sure.
So,
Get it?
Yeah.
I love it. But I don't know him, but I'm sure he's just winding you up. His victory is you going, forget it, I'm not playing.
well, anyway, right, so it doesn't matter. I think I'll go off and do some prep, right,
Yes.
do some research for Saturday. Found one of Suzanne's magazines, right, flicking through, because there's always interesting stuff in there. There was something about swingers.
Right.
I was like, what's all that about?
Yeah.
And it had an interview with some people talking about, how they sleep about a bit.
Yeah.
And I thought, if my wife looked like that, I probably would. Because there was a few pictures of them, and they were all pretty ugly.
Yes.
I thought, right. So I took that in, soaked that up, thought, there you go. Carried on reading. There was a bit in there about how women still have crushes, right?
Yes.
And the woman was going on about how she's 38, right? But she still fancies Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Uh-huh.
And, even though it'll never happen, she's still got that little bit in her head
Yeah.
that thinks one day she'll leave Gwyneth, right? And end up with her, right?
Right.
Anyway, so I'm thinking this is a bit boring, but I'm flicking through it all. And,
Is this a Rockbusters clue?
no, right. And I read further on, right? And she said, I like to go out with my mates, and we come up with lists in pubs of people who they'd be nice to go out with. She also came up with a list of unlikely lust objects, I think she called them.
Yeah.
Guess who was in that list?
Ricky Gervais.
Think again.
Carl Pilkington.
Right. Next one.
Johnny Vegas.
Said lanky co-writer.
Rubbish.
Lanky co-writer.
What do you mean lanky co-writer?
Well, do I need to say any more? He said,
hang on, wait a minute. Let's not talk about... I don't know why you're laughing at my expense. I'm an unlikely lust object.
yeah,
But what was it called? The list?
the unlikely lust object
Yes.
list. You were in there, right?
Who else was?
Well, you weren't in there.
Richard Madeley,
Fine.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking guy.
Alistair Campbell.
Brilliant. Another handsome dude. What you talking about? You think I'm ashamed or embarrassed about that? I'm proud of it. What magazine was it? I need to buy a couple of copies.
It was.
Need to get a T-shirt made.
Yeah, and did she leave her number?
Yeah. What magazine was it? Just out of interest.
I think it's called Red.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But now you've dissed those people that have put themselves in their swingers because you've said they're ugly. So now we know what magazine it is. People are going to look at that. People are going to look at that poor woman, and they're going to know you think she's a hog.
No, but I think they even know.
Was there a picture of the
They
woman
even
who's
know.
drawn up the list of unlikely lust objects? What was she like?
I wouldn't waste my time.
Thanks, mate. I know you're on my side.
The Thrills on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant, object of unlikely lust object. Steve Merchant.
I'd like to have that now, prefixing my name everywhere I'm written about.
I know, yeah. Did he make the freak list?
Whoa!
Which is a different magazine, isn't it? And I'm joking, of course. Carl Pilkington, a man of sort of quiet dignity and and in a way, he's got his own sort of inner beauty, hasn't he, Carl?
Not really.
Don't you think?
Well, I'll tell you why I don't think it is. Because the woman that wrote the piece, saying that I was an unlikely lust object, has just emailed in. And Carl, you've offended her quite considerably.
What did he say?
Why?
I wouldn't waste my time, is what you said. She's repeated
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I wouldn't waste my time, the flaming cheek. Although it's a horrible picture, I am, of course, in real life, a vision of loveliness. I'm not 38, I'm 25. I don't think Stephen's that unlikely lust object. A sense of humour is important, and he's welcome to my phone number if he wants it.
Is
That
she,
sense of humour is important. That's a
is
down
she a
isn't it?
swinger?
Stop it!
Don't have a go at the woman, for
I'm
goodness sake.
messing about. She knows I'm messing about.
Well, how are you messing about?
I've told you this though. I've told you that anyone could be listening, haven't I? I've told you that before. Things you say, but we encourage him. We say, "What does she look like?" But it's meant to be rhetorical. That was a joke. That was Stephen's joke. What does she look like? I.e., him joking, like, "Oh, I'll call her up because I'm on a list," and then you have to say that. I mean, that's what I mean. The chances are, if she likes Stephen, she hasn't seen him, she listens to the radio. So, the likelihood is that, she was listening to this show.
Yeah.
So, think.
Will I drop the thing I was going to do about Lisa Riley?
Well,
She's not listening.
Some people deserve it.
She's still at lunch.
What, from Tuesday? There's an all-you-can-eat place going out of business as we speak.
Oh, bloody hell, she's back. You killed me. I gotta do Bambino. Please leave now. Please leave. So,
No, but she knows was only messing. This,
yeah,
this
everyone
Irish
knows you're only messing. We're all only messing. I hope we don't offend anyone of, any kind out there. We're only joking, aren't we, Carl?
Yeah.
Say something nice about her.
What can you remember of the picture that you could say was good? Maybe she was wearing some
It
nice
wasn't
clothes.
anything, to be honest. I'll have another look and have a look. I think she had a nice shirt on or something. Yeah.
Forthcoming single from British Sea Power. That's called Carry On.
I love it.
It's great.
It's fantastic. On
Yes.
XFM 104.9.
What do you make, Carl, of these people? I was reading a paper today. They've been queuing up for 12 hours last night for the new Harry Potter book.
Oh, God.
I
Oh,
knew you'd
God,
react like
it
that.
really annoys me. Everything. Oh, God, it really annoys me.
But who has to? I mean, I know it's just a kind of willful sort of stubbornness.
I
isn't
see,
it?
I see adults
Yeah.
reading it,
Well, I was up in Hampstead last night, and there's a Waterstones branch of that, and there were a couple of people outside queuing, waiting for it to open.
what they look like.
Well, I mean,
Things
what-
that they're like the ones that come out of Forbidden Planet on a Thursday.
yeah, I mean, what do you expect? There was one guy, I mean, I don't mean to disrespect him, but he was a big bloater, wearing shorts. I don't want to see his big fleshy legs. He looked like John O'Coleman, if I'm not.
Well, there's nothing wrong with John
He
O'Connor.
wore a
though.
knapsack. They always seem to have knapsacks for some reason.
Well, they got old papers in there, haven't they?
exactly.
Got a 9-year supply
Well,
of
there
the
was
mirror.
about 4 of them. There was a couple of women, a couple of guys, all looked basically the same. They were interchangeable, and
Probably get an
They were
email
there
from him in a minute.
Yeah, I am the fat bloater with fleshy legs.
yeah. I recognised your description.
I like to read these books whilst listening to XFM of a Saturday.
I was sort of watching them from where I was, and they must have been there for about an hour and a half. They're obviously strangers. Their common interest was Harry Potter. They were sort of chatting to each other for about an hour and a half. So as I'm leaving, I wander past them. An hour and a half in to them having met each other, the conversation is, all I heard was, well, of course, apparently she cried when she finished the last one. And I thought, they've not moved on. The conversation had not moved on.
No, they might have been talking about Dawn French, chocolate orange
yeah,
by then.
Yeah.
I know she cried when she finished the last one
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
But,
I
yeah.
got no time for them.
No, am I.
Pop into Walrus now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, get
I'm
it
a
tomorrow,
leisurely
read then. You're going to get home at 1:30 and start reading it.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
So you can put it on the internet.
Oh, God.
Your opinions.
Oh, it annoys me.
It is extraordinary. The whole kind of Harry Potter phenomenon has passed me by.
I know.
meet
Well,
people-
good luck to her,
But you meet adults who are. You say, "What are you doing?" They go, "I'm just rereading Harry Potter." What, you couldn't follow it the
I
first
know.
time?
Yeah. I mean, it's not her fault. She
No,
made
but
£300 million by writing a few books for
I'm
her
sure they're
kids.
very
Well,
good,
well
yeah.
done. But I'm sure. I'm not sure they're very good. But I haven't read them. I'm sure they're not. But no, I don't know.
Well, don't have a
I've
go,
no,
don't
no,
you?
no. I'm joking.
Well,
But
so
I've
you
no
write
idea.
a book about a little wizard.
With glasses.
Yeah, and make millions. You think it's so easy. If you think it's so easy, you do it.
You like him because you look a bit like him.
Well,
Wow.
you know.
I wonder if he's on that wish list. That woman who emailed in. Why was she making a list of unlikely?
Can we leave this now?
No, but I mean, what was it? What was context? Was it? It was like, here's my top 10 weird-looking fellas that I do.
No.
What was it? No, but what was she was talking about? She'd started talking about what body waxing and went. And by the way, while I'm here, here's 10 blokes that I would if I had to, and they're a bit weird. You'll be surprised. What was the context?
I forgot.
He's scared to say anything now. He's scared to say anything. Oh, bless him.
I just was looking at a picture because I was attracted to it because she was good looking and that didn't read on. Is that alright?
Well done. That's got you out of that little mess.
Yeah, yeah.
Well
But
done.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You can't be arsed with it. Have you read them?
No, because the first time it came out, I was a bit confused, wasn't I? Because I thought it was about
Of course
the
you
rabbit.
were. Yeah. Of course what? What?
This is a what? It's a book.
No, I got confused with the little rabbit. I thought it was her, didn't I? You talked about it when it
Beatrix
first...
Potter.
Yeah, I got mixed up with that, so I sort of missed out on the first one anyway.
You
So
were
it
just
was
running
too
around
late.
confused.
So it was
year.
it was sort of too late to get into it, I think, after...
Yeah, it's too late now, yeah.
Um,
It's impossible. Same
Well,
with
it's just-
Shakespeare. If you weren't around, the day he wrote the first ones, there's no point in going back.
but it's all the fuss that she's getting as well, like...
Well, I think it's because she's a British industry now, isn't she? I mean, it must have made, what, billions?
Well, it's the perfect success story. She writes a story for her children, and it becomes a worldwide phenomenon. You know, it's not cynical. It's just a great story.
Did your dad ever pop anything down in writing?
I'll tell you what, my mum wanted to do it.
Yeah.
There's been loads of things, little inventions she's come up with and that, but she's been too busy doing other stuff. But she used to come up with stories for me as a kid that I'm sure, if they came out, they'd be a success.
Yeah.
Go on.
Do you remember any of them?
There was one about a little red car. I can't remember how that ended. But the one that was really good was about a kid who gets a dog, right? But it's quite an old dog.
This is going to be an episode of the Waltons, isn't it? And then
Right.
Go on.
And he's playing with the dog and that, but it starts getting a bit old. It's about 15 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, it's rubbish, this dog." So,
I would love that book for kids. I would love that. Tommy went, "Oh, Mummy, my dad's... Oh, no, kill it then. Kill it then." She's like, "Yeah, just throw it in the lake. I'll get you another one. Do you want a Nintendo? Yeah. Kick the rabbit to death then. Or no food for you."
Oh, forget
Brilliant.
it. No, come on, no, forget it. It was about-
Come on. Jump. Van Halen.
You Trojan in him by any chance?
Cheeky, innit?
Eh?
What?
Never mind. I think that probably proves it.
I thought of another one I like as well. I was saying, you may as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb.
I've never heard. I don't think I've heard that. I have heard, but I don't think I've ever used it in common parlance.
Well, it's like if you're going to do something, you know, you might as well go the whole hog, depending on the outcome, because it's based on reality. That's why I like it, because obviously the poor people used to poach, and if they were caught stealing, you know, a sheep or anything, they would be hung. So if you're going to get caught, don't steal a lamb. You know, at least feed your family for a few weeks.
Right, sure.
Kill a sheep.
Yeah.
Actually hung for killing a sheep.
Oh, your dad would be in trouble down in Wales, stealing stuff from that
Oh.
phone box.
Well, he has a couple of sayings, right?
Your father.
Yeah, I've never asked him what they mean.
Why would you? Ask
What?
Suzanne.
One is, don't try and teach your granny to suck eggs.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means it's patronising. Of course I know that. You're talking to someone who knows more about this subject than you.
But how did that happen then? How did that saying come about?
Well, it's not. It's a totally made up thing. It's like your granny sucks eggs, doesn't she? Because she's older than you, and it's probably a lost art or something.
Right. And the other one, don't-
Sucks eggs.
sucks
Yeah.
eggs, yeah.
Sucks eggs. Sorry, I thought you said something else.
Don't nudge your granny when she's shaving.
What?
Sorry.
Don't nudge your granny while she's shaving.
Don't nudge. Sorry. Say
Well,
it
that's
slower. I can't.
don't nudge
nudge your granny when she's having a shave.
Well, what is that in context? Because I can't work out what the analogy is there, because that might just be you when you were little, you used to run up to your granny while she was shaving or something.
But what?
As you
Why
get-
is your granny shaving?
Well, no, what context is that said in? Tell me the last time your dad ever said that, and I'll try and work out what it means.
Can't remember. I can't. I don't
Are you
know.
sure these aren't specific to your granny?
Yeah, I was to say, were you nudging your granny? She was going,
Yeah.
"Get lost, Carl,"
She was shaving off her moustache.
or
Oh.
giving herself a Brazilian.
That's grotesque. Suck an egg. Suck an egg. Suck an egg. Try and get that instead.
Oh,
That's
oh
yeah.
God, that's made
Yeah,
made
it's
it
made it
worse.
worse.
Carl's granny sucking eggs. Well, that's that is
Giving
my.
herself a Brazilian. We've no idea. I don't know what that means. Don't nudge your granny while she's shaving. What,
Yeah.
Parmesan?
I don't know. Maybe someone knows. You might be right. Maybe.
Well,
it's just
email
someone-
in. Tell
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Anyway, Rockbusters, Carl.
Go
Yeah,
on.
should we get the ball rolling? Let me just find the gifts here, the
yeah.
little treats. We've got the album from The Coral. You know what I think about that. We've got
What?
Comfort in Sound Feeder. Well, it's just a novelty record, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got on DVD more great comedy moments, favourite clips from the best of contemporary BBC comedy. We've got Partridge on the front there. We've got one of the guys from Red Dwarf and
Brilliant.
no, there's good stuff on there. Smash Hits, the reunion, more great 80s tunes. Kajagoogoo's on there, plus some stuff.
Too
from-
shy?
It is too
Yeah,
shy.
yeah.
Actually, let me see if you can guess which one's
Go
from
on.
Tiffany.
Well, yeah, I know it. The only one.
I think we're alone now.
Yeah, I think we're alone, yeah.
Mel and Kim.
Respectable?
Mm-hmm. Human League,
That'd be... Oh, wow, what would it be? Would they have got Don't You Want Me?
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Last Take On Me?
Yep,
Yeah.
well done. Madness,
Baggy Trousers.
of course. Kim Wilde.
Kids in America?
Yeah, so there's just all those traits. If you if you like a song from an 80s band, it's probably on there.
Yeah, okay.
Plus, we've also got on VHS Graham Norton, some kind of best of compilation from his TV show. So there are the
Hold on, is it the one where he talks to sort of female gay icons and looks at the internet? Because that's my favourite one. Right, there you go. Let's do Rockbusters.
Right,
Email only, of course.
Yeah, yeah. You email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you know the answer. Right, first one. Bit of a cryptic clue if you haven't heard it before.
Well, not cryptic, we're wrong. What is
Um,
Carl thinking?
If you go into France by boat, I'd get your fags on there because it's a lot cheaper.
Imagine Bob Holness. Sorry, we're out of time. Sorry, your minute's up. You've won nothing. I was reading that question out.
Sorry,
Right.
so what's the...
Right, let's do it again, and I want it to be exactly the same, word perfect. I bet you it will change all over the place. It'll be different. He's lost it.
Go to
Right.
France, buy yourself a boat with
Yeah.
the fags are
Okay.
cheaper.
Okay. Fingers on the buzzers. You've only got 10 seconds to win the gold run. Okay, first up. Here, I'll tell you what. No, seriously, if you're thinking of going to France, well, don't. Because go on the ferry, get the fags there because it's cheaper. Go on.
Right, so that one again. If you want to buy some fags, you're going over to France on the boat. Get them on there because you'll save a few quid. BF.
BF.
Right? BF.
Okay.
Right, the second one. This little foreign cafe's growing its own steak.
This little foreign cafe is growing its own steak.
This little foreign cafe's growing its own steak.
Go on.
D.
All right.
Right?
Okay.
And the last one.
Is that part of it?
Hang on.
He's the best, isn't he? He's the best.
The Jamaican fella might have screamed this on the Titanic.
What?
The Jamaican fella might have screamed this on the Titanic.
What's it start with?
It's CD, that one.
Jamaican fellow might have screamed this on the Titanic. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Please don't phone in. If you can get those, we just don't want to talk to you.
Bettinelli?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
summer
yeah,
tune.
sweet.
It's a summer favourite.
Sweet.
Nelly, Ride With Me. That's featuring City Spud. I don't know if you're aware of that, but there we are. Good, nice summer tune. XFM.
Carl, tell Steve what you just told me when Steve was in the toilet then.
Right, I'd just been away with my mum and dad and that.
Mm.
And one of the things I always like doing is having a good chat with my dad about stuff he got up to when he was a kid and that.
Yeah.
Right, because he got up to loads of stuff. And every time I see him, he tells me something. And I think, it's like, why are you just telling me that now? It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. So,
I mean, to me, he's kind of like Ronnie Biggs or someone. He's just the most extraordinary kind of...
well, this
Character
happened,
for
right?
character.
I can't remember. There was a delay yesterday. There was problems on the Paddington line.
Yeah.
And he was saying, trains aren't what they used to be.
Sure.
He said, he said I was
They
looking...
used to be horses, didn't they?
Well, he was looking in the booklet, and it was saying how you can have your bags collected if you want, but it costs you £5.
Yeah.
So that's outrageous.
Sure, of course.
Right, so he said that's the problem with this country. We've got good with computers and that, but when it comes to, like, getting service, it's gone out the window.
Yeah.
Right? So he said, when I worked on the trains, and he was going on like this, that and the other, so I said, I didn't know you worked on the trains. He said, yeah, when I was 18, right, it was his job to get the coal, right, and chuck it in the engine,
Uh-huh.
right, and one day he's in Grand Central Station in Manchester, which is now the GMEX Centre,
Right.
right, and that was like the main station, and he was in there. The fella who should have been sort of driving the train,
Yeah.
right, he said, "Oh, I'm just nipping to the pub,
Sure.
so you just stay here, keep the engine topped up and stuff."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Yeah." all right,
For a
whatever."
quick getaway.
Yeah.
Right. So the fella goes in the pub, and my dad's in there, putting the coal on. He did his bacon and eggs on a little shovel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And anyway, fella comes up. He says, "Right, can you move the train forward now?"
Oh, blimey.
So he was like, "Oh." So he didn't want to say, "Oh, the fella's in the pub," because he'd know he'd say, "What's he doing in the pub? He should be working,
Good.
right?" So he said, "Yeah, no problem. I'll sort it out." Right. So he puts it into gear or whatever you do on them trains.
Sure,
right?
puts it in first, yeah.
Starts going forward. Now, people who don't know about trains, something that I learnt is if you're carrying a load of coal or whatever on the back of it, they don't have brakes on each carriage, right? It's only the engine that has brakes on it.
Uh-huh.
So when you pull the brakes on the engine, the whole weight of what it's pulling is pushing you forward,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't realise this though, because he's just used to cooking bacon and eggs and chucking coal in.
Of course,
thing,
yeah.
right?
So you've got to slam the brakes on sooner than you would normally.
Yeah.
Well, you have to anticipate it, I suppose. Yeah.
But he didn't know that,
course he
so
didn't,
he's
yeah.
pulling in, he's thinking, right,
Well, he's a Pilkington.
I'll put the brakes on now,
Yeah.
right? Puts the brakes on, the train just keeps going, he's going, oh god, it's not stopping.
Sure.
It ploughs right through the signal box, right?
The
Loads of
baboon
damage,
pulling the singles don't know what to do.
Yeah.
loads of damage done. Apparently, if it was today's money,
Yeah.
it'd be about £3 to £4 million worth of damage. It shut the station off for 4 weeks. But he didn't lose his job. The fella had lost his job, the one who was in the pub.
Yeah.
He said the funny thing was, he said like £4 million worth of damage. He did his ankle, his wrist in. He had 3 weeks off sick and got paid. So it's brilliant. So
I love your family.
It's extraordinary. The Pilkington gene.
weird, isn't it?
I'd like to see a documentary following you and your family. You'd have to get the family involved.
No, the sort of stuff my dad goes on about. They'd never put it on telly.
Blur. Out of time on XFM 104.9.
We ought to give those Rockbusters clues again.
Yeah, go on.
We've had
first
very
one.
few contributions so far, Carl. I think you've really stumped people.
This might be it. I've told you, you're on thin ice. If this goes wrong, if it's rubbish, and if everyone doesn't get them all, that's the end of Rockbusters.
Right, well, the first one again, right?
Yeah.
If you go out to France, right, by boat, you might as well get your fags whilst you're on that, because you'll save a few quid. Right?
Different every time.
BF is the initials of the artist that little cryptic clue makes up. The second one, little foreign cafe, it's growing its own steak. Right? That's D. Little foreign cafe, it's growing its own steak. D. And the last one, if there was a Jamaican fella on the Titanic when it went down, he'd probably scream this. CD. Right? So email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Yeah,
Right?
they're not
Right.
flooding in, but yeah.
Well, we'll see how we do.
Carl, have we still got monkey news?
We've got monkey news coming up.
Now, you must be disappointed because you didn't make it to the monkey sanctuary, but you've still managed to scrape together monkey news on your holiday.
Yeah.
That's
So I've
impressive.
found some of that. We've got...
How
some-
do you get so many breaks and holidays? Because you went away with Suzanne's parents. You've just been away with your parents. That's a couple of weeks, 10 days. So that's probably about 3 weeks in all. You had that. You went to Manchester. You had that day off because your trousers were wet. I mean, and I suppose because you've only got one job, and I've got a lot more. This is just one of my jobs. But I mean, don't you ever count your blessings? Go, God, thank God, I can have time off. I don't work too hard. I'm not stressed too much.
No. It's just all to do with when you do work, do a lot. So I get a lot done.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm always doing stuff. I mean, even though when I was in Cornwall, right, I'm sat there on the grass.
I'd love to just sit on the grass.
Yeah,
Just
you're too
rinse
busy.
it
with
out a
that,
little bit.
weren't
I know, yeah, well, you know.
Me dad and Suzanne are playing crib, right? I'd sort of fallen out with him at
Your
that
dad and
point.
Susanna playing
Why did you
crib.
fallen
Because
out
you do
with
live
who?
in the 1940s.
Yeah, why did you fallen out? Get to Cornwall tonight if I had to. If I had to finish this show, I couldn't possibly get to Cornwall.
Rubbish. Of course there's a later train.
Oh, I've booked it now anyway.
Right, well, that's
Yeah.
the point, isn't it? Yeah, you're not thought
Right,
it through.
whatever. I don't think the show's lost anything. I think we've still had the, Freak of the Week's coming up now.
Oh, cheeky freak of the week.
Right, well, we've had some interesting things we've been looking at. This week, it's about the strangest couple that ever got married.
And we've had 2 sets of chimps, so it's stranger than that. Oh, it's not Dale Winton and Nell McAndrew, is
It's
it?
not your parents, is it?
Well, we're going back again to about, I think this is about
Something like that.
1940.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Not important.
Strangest couple, a fella, right? He had skin of a lizard,
Yeah, the skin of a lizard, okay.
and the woman who he
Which he
married,
used as a condom.
the woman who he married,
Yeah.
airiest woman ever,
Right.
and that was their act. They used to tour the world, and they'd say, it's like, couple who've met, they're having a great life. Let's get them out on stage. Here they are. And they'd
What
pop
do you mean
out.
he had a skin of a lizard, first of all?
That's what it said. He had some sort of some illness.
So he was called Lizard Man, and you like that because it was good description.
I thought that's good.
I'm
Like,
here,
you know,
I'm here, hello, we've booked a table for 2. Who are you meeting? I'm meeting Lizard Man. Oh, he's over there.
yeah.
You know he is, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Look
meeting
out.
the hairiest woman in the world. She's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did they do for their act?
Now, bear in mind that we had some Siamese twins last week, and their act was having a bath.
yeah.
So, I hope it's an improvement on that.
What did Lizard Man? He came out and ate some flies, did he?
I don't really know. I just think they stood there and that.
Yeah, when you read this and it goes the most interesting fact ever, Lizard Man, and you go, that's enough. That's
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, well,
I can
that's-
extrapolate from
Yeah,
that.
but straight away I'm thinking, right, I wonder if they got the wedding photos. Right? And then, like it said that they had a kid.
Or what would that be like? Half
Exactly,
lizard, half
exactly, that's
it'd be
what I
like
was
an
thinking.
ostrich, wouldn't it? It would sort of like.
That's what I was thinking.
What did you think it would come out like, the baby?
I didn't think what that looked like. I just was thinking, parents' evening. Do you know what I mean?
You wouldn't want them coming up to the school, would you?
So,
Well, that's
so
the
little
problem.
Johnny, who starts off relatively normal, he's quite good at, he's good at nature,
Yeah.
isn't he? And his mum and dad come into the room and they'd be looking round, wouldn't they?
Well, it's always like that thing at school when, like, you find out your mate's mum and dad are really old.
Right,
Have you
sure.
ever seen that?
Yeah.
When you go, have your gran and granddad bought you?
Yeah.
No, mum and dad.
Yeah.
And you go, oh.
It is weird.
What's that we're talking about? He calls him mum. What was that? Oh, sorry.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
no,
like-
that's always strange.
I just-
If you had Godzilla and King Kong as your parents,
Yeah.
and it was
And they're
like you
always
say,
fighting.
they're always fighting, and like you say, if you're in a school play or something, you wouldn't tell them, would you? You wouldn't want them coming out with a video camera.
He didn't tell his parents he was in the. When we were,
Well, exactly.
You did Little Donkey. You didn't tell your dad, did you? And he came along and videoed it.
Yeah.
Was
kept
that-
it quiet, don't want them to know anything.
But you didn't. What was it? It was meant to be playing. You had a little drum, didn't you?
Yeah, I was doing, I had a little drum. I think I was meant to be playing We Three Kings,
Yeah.
but we started doing Little Donkey and I thought I can add a touch to this.
Sure, you improvised.
Started playing along.
It was like the
loved
first
Yeah.
remix, wasn't it?
It went down well. But yeah, that's all I was thinking with the Freak of the Week this week. That's what I'm saying about Freak of the Week. It's to get people thinking, right? Thinking how lucky they are that, they don't have to...
Comb their face. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Freak of the Week is to let people know how lucky they are.
Just...
What about the little freak you're talking about? What are they thinking? They're going, oh, he's talking about me. I'm a little hairy lizard man on a stick.
Pop in, give us a call. That's what I'd like to do on a TV programme. That's what I want to do. I want to go and, meet these people and say, right, let's just go shopping. Let's, we'll film what your normal day's like.
Yeah.
Let's pop out. Nip into Sainsbury's or whatever.
Yeah.
Buy a comb.
Park
whatever.
right up close to it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what you're saying is you just want to get a little message out there, which is that there's always someone worse off than you.
Well, there's proof of that in this room. You know what I mean?
Oh, Carl, when's your train?
In a minute, I'm going to get going now. I'll see you later.
Thanks, Carl.
Brilliant. What are you playing? You can play a song?
Kirsty McCall.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Cheers. Kirsty McCall, New England. Carl Pilkington has left the building. He's rushed away. He's on his way down to Cornwall. And we're left by ourselves.
Indeed.
In the room. See, if we can do this...
If we can press all the buttons and not make any mistakes, strictly speaking, there's no need for Carl.
I don't mind if we make mistakes.
Well, no, exactly.
We never were in the old days, did
No,
we?
sure.
I think Carl is going to love Cornwall. Because I think, one, the mayor is probably an animal.
Yes.
And I imagine the townsfolk think like Carl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
imagine he'll stay there. He'll be made king.
Have you ever seen Return of the Jedi? In Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks, the little furry creatures, they see C-3PO, and because he can talk and he can speak their language, they actually elevate him
Oh, he's
to godlike
popped back.
status.
What are you doing here?
Hooray!
He's back. Oh,
What are you doing?
You could have stayed till the end.
What are you
Right,
doing?
what are you doing?
Right.
Right, well, there he is. He's on his way.
Yeah,
Down to
if
Cornwall.
you're listening online in Cornwall, I mean, I can't imagine that's ever going to happen. But, you know,
on a clothesline with a bean tin at one
Exactly.
end and
Yeah.
a big bean tin in London.
Or if the
I'm cool in London.
yeah, or if the foil helmet you wear to fend off laser rays from aliens out of space are somehow picking up the show, then Carl's on his way. Look forward to him. He's the
He'd
bold
fit in
one.
because he's got a sort of like, you know, the obligatory sort of red face that would go well down there now. Because I think he's been out in the sun, or he was, you know, pre-boiled when he came in. But he's rushing down to Cornwall now, going from Paddington Station. So, you know,
If you're in the Paddington Station area, you want to pop down there and sort of wave him off, then do.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
that's not a dirty sexual act.
Wave him off.
Yeah, I'd love to wave him off. And call in the week as well, carl.pilkington@xfm.co.uk. Send him anything. Just clog up his email.
Yeah.
I mean, because he gets stressed at work. So if you can send him 3 or 4 emails each
Yeah.
over the next week, so he's got to read them all. But disguise them, don't make them look rubbish, so at least he's got to sort of open them and look at them. Or, you know, some of them might be correspondence, so he will, you know, just phone his line as well, just ask for XFM, ask Carl, and leave long messages on his voicemail.
Yeah.
So, if you can, just for us, just for me and Steve, remember, it is mine and Steve's show. Carl is merely like, you know, the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
If Carl can come back, maybe next Friday or Saturday or Monday, whenever he comes back, to about 250 emails and 200 voicemail messages.
If you put down, when it says what's the name of the message, the title of the message, if you put monkey news or monkey information, he'll have to open it then because he'll be intrigued, even if
Yeah.
it's not about monkeys.
Yeah.
Do that anyway.
Yeah. Voicemail messages. Leave them long. I like this information. Disguise it, so it might be important.
Yeah.
Just so he has to listen through. I wish I'd give his own mobile out, but, you know, that is just too cruel. But anyone can get him at XFM, and of course we've given out his email before, so, I mean, go mental.
There are plenty of ways to torture Carl Pilkington. I mean, we're doing all we can on a Saturday.
But we're only 2 people.
But we're only 2 men.
You know what I mean?
So,
so listen, go berserk. We'll be back next Saturday, and we'll leave with song for the lovers, song for the ladies, whatever. It's a beautiful track.
A song for the sunshine.
Song for the Sunshine. It's Lily White by Cat Stevens, and we've done it. We don't need Carl.
Definitely not. See you next week, Rick.
Bye. Well, there's the darkness. They believe in a thing called love. Carl, do you? This is XFM 104.9. That is my favourite band at the moment.
You love them?
I absolutely love them. I think they're funny. I think they're straight down the line with a little bit of tongue-in-cheek. Ah, brilliant. Did you see them on Jules Holland
I
last
didn't,
night?
sadly, no.
Brilliant.
Were they good?
Yeah, absolutely jump. Oh, I mean, Jules didn't know what to do.
was he playing some Boogie Woogie?
They wouldn't let him play Boogie Woogie over their
Blimey.
song. That's what I mean. That's why he stayed back. But
I can't imagine it was very good then.
he shook the.
I'm surprised you say they were good.
It was.
Jules wasn't tinkling
I mean,
the old ivories.
I thought, hold on, this is missing something.
Yeah.
This is missing someone from Squeeze vamping over them.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
they did well without him.
Extraordinary.
Yeah.
Well,
There we are
good
then.
luck.
We're back. XFM 104.9. Carl had to leave early last week, but you stay to the end this week, mate. Or
Yeah.
yeah.
You don't need another holiday.
Oh, he's started already.
I mean, you
Steve's
know.
made you look like a bit of a twat already, and it's
No.
only 1:05.
But the only reason you don't go on holiday is because you have to spend money.
Oh, and he's come straight back.
Well,
He's come straight back.
I can't come back to that.
Oh,
It's just dynamite. It's just absolute. That was
Although the
searing
last
and cut to
holiday,
the chase.
last holiday Steve had, he sort of found a third world country so he could live like a king for a week. It was Cuba, wasn't it?
Going to Cuba, amazing. You can almost rule the place. If it weren't for Castro, I'd have been in charge. Kind of cash I was flashing around. I mean, they do anything for $1 over there. It's extraordinary, literally. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh.
Definitely, and I went to Kenya before that.
So he thought to the prostitute, said no. You were going.
Yeah, well, it was $2. I mean, I'm not made of money.
Did you have a good holiday, Carl?
Yeah, it was alright. It's alright. Went down to Cornwall.
Now,
Tell
you
you
were
what,
going to the monkey
some odd
sanctuary.
people down there, Steve.
Well, don't look at me, I'm not from Cornwall.
Well, you're from that sort of area.
Well, not really, but never
Genetically, he means.
mind. Right.
They're weird.
Well, you must have slotted right in.
What are they weird? What do they look like?
It's all sort of odd people. A lot of old people, but not just old, sort of messed up old.
What do you mean messed up old? You can't just say that. There's
There was a woman with a funny neck.
Okay, in what way was it funny?
Why did she have a funny neck? If you were writing an essay, you wouldn't say there was this one with a funny neck. How would you describe it?
She sort of had her head, like, pointed down all the time. Like that.
Don't do it. It's his radio.
No, but just for you, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Walking about like
Yeah, okay, right. So, brilliant.
that. I don't know. I was saying to Suzanne, what happened, you know. What do you think?
Because Suzanne knows everything. That's the good thing about her being with you. You just ask her, what happened to her? And Suzanne goes, Carl, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been here before.
Suzanne, your girlfriend, or mummy as you call her.
Oh, sparks are flying.
Yeah. I got a little bit of chocolate. Can you just lick a tissue and wipe it off?
Oh,
No, she said it might have been like, because back in the olden days, they carried stuff on the...
the olden days.
What do you mean the olden days?
This woman was probably, what, 50?
No, she looked about 70.
Yeah.
But like I do on Cheeky Freak of the Week, right? I always turn it round and we get, like, something good out
Something
of it.
positive, yeah.
I said to Suzanne, I bet she finds a lot of money.
Always staring at the ground, yeah.
Oh,
It was always,
dear.
it was always
Oh,
good.
so, you're
Maybe
back...
she just had new shoes and she was admiring them.
Yeah.
Did you think of that? Before you point the finger and judge?
Or a necklace was too heavy.
Exactly.
So, you're back refreshed. So, what have we got for this week? Have we sort of... Because we didn't meet last night, which we usually meet
No,
sort of...
I called you and said it'd be good if we could, you know, I wasn't getting back into London
Well, I was up
until
for it, I was up
till
for it,
7:30,
you know.
but...
Yeah.
Yeah, but we all need to be there. It's no
Yeah.
good just me and you being there.
Yeah.
About some kind of female solicitor who's defending a guy who may or may not be a killer,
Yeah.
but maybe in a former life they were lovers. It's always some nonsense like that, and presumably there's normally some gruesome murders. So how is that getting you in the mood?
It's plot development.
Yes, the narrative. Oh, I love narrative.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's a lovely twist. I've got the horn.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, if you're from Manchester, sorry about that. I mean, it is true. We weren't making that up. We weren't doing a stupid stereotype like Carl did with Liverpudlians. It's just a survey that Mancunians take off more sick days. But they might be genuine. They might be sort of an iller people, or it might just be people who are in Manchester go, oh, I can't be bothered to go to work, it's rubbish. Whereas if you're in London, you go, I can't wait to go to work. What a lovely place this is.
Some
And
great jobs down here.
great job, Johnny.
Rick, I know you're always looking just to keep you kept abreast of new developments in
Yeah.
music, what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got any plans this evening, but you might want to pop along to the Hope and Anchor in Islington.
Why?
Where playing tonight, Restless Diesel.
Please welcome to the stage.
Restless Diesel. I mean, we've talked about it before. Band names where you just have to imagine you're supporting U2,
Yeah.
Wembley Stadium. It can never happen. Please welcome to the stage,
And
Restless
he comes on, and after
Diesel.
the first song, he goes, thanks, cause great band before us, Restless Diesel. You hear a lot more of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it won't happen, will it?
Sure, they're a great band. I think. You
What's the
should sing
tax on that? £5 in, is it?
them. It's not telling us actually. Yeah, but yeah, to pop down to the Hope and Anchor. Maybe tell us how Restless Diesel was tonight.
Yeah, just call in. Maybe call in on Christian Show Monday. Just tell us how Restless Diesel were. We can make that a regular feature.
Now, what's coming up on today's show? Rick?
Well,
What have we got?
listen, we got all the usual favourites. We got and some new ones. We got Monkey News. That's sorted. Carl told me.
People are guaranteed monkey.
He
news.
called in. He said, "I've got some Monkey News."
Brilliant.
He's done that. I had to make sure. Yeah, we got that. We've got some great tunes. I've got a great song from Tupac, some Cat Stevens, some Jimmy Webb, some Thin Lizzy.
Can I surprise you with something from Aerosmith? And a little
Brilliant.
treat from Evan Dando.
We're
coming up.
quite rocky today, aren't we? There's a threat that there won't be Rockbusters.
Good. That's no threat.
But we can
Great
bring
news.
back Educating Ricky.
Oh.
I mean, because it's sort of like seasonal, isn't it, our show? We don't want it's not like Ant and Dec's takeaways on all through the year.
Yeah.
They go away for a few weeks and we get something else, like Ian Wright's,
Yeah.
Friends Like These or something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so maybe Rockbusters, maybe not.
Rockbusters on hiatus, but Educating Ricky always fun. If
That's
you've not
what's
heard
coming
that
up.
before.
And I'll tell you what, Jane's Addiction, just because they rock as well, don't they?
brilliant.
XFM 104.9.
Excellent, Ricky Gervais.
Jane's Addiction, Just Because on XFM 104.9, broadcasting from London, where people prefer to only be off sick when they actually are ill.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think I've ever taken a day off sick. Except when I had that terrible tonsillitis.
Is that when you went home, stayed with
Yeah.
your mum and dad?
Yeah. Why is that a problem? Nurse back to health.
No, I'm not saying it's a
Nurse
problem.
back to health. Yeah, I've got a loving family. So sue me. What do you make of
The antagonism and piss taking is just like, oh God, 3 blokes in a pub. If there's people listening, I can't go.
Are there? Carl, what do you make of London? Because you often say you'd much rather be up north.
Well, he wouldn't, or he'd go.
Well, this is what he constantly says.
You've chosen to live here, you've lived here for years, you've got a flat here.
No.
No,
I chose to come here because I was offered a job that was good money.
yeah.
I wouldn't have come here if there was no job.
So you prefer to be somewhere
I
where
don't-
there's
I
a
don't
good
like
job,
being
so
here, I
you've
don't like
chosen to
being
live
here.
here.
I don't like being here, though.
Well, no, but you can leave.
To what?
Well, exactly! So you've chosen to stay somewhere that's better for you.
It's not better for me.
Well-
It's making me ill. I'm not sleeping.
Well, you say you're ill, I think you call in ill, but I don't think you are. But I mean,
Are there any stats to prove that?
well, yeah, because, you know, of the 11 days that he calls in sick, I reckon probably 7 of them are genuine.
I'd love it if I dropped down dead tonight. Honestly, I'd love it.
If you drop down dead tonight, you
Yeah.
know it.
And
Why
then
aren't you
go,
sleeping?
What, you're feeling ill now, are you? That's
I
funny,
am-
you weren't
I'm-
feeling ill earlier, but you read that, and you're suddenly ill.
I'm run down.
Well, you should take a holiday. Oh, yeah, you just had about 8 in the last 6 months.
Oh, God!
Why are you run
Unbelievable.
down? Why are you run down?
Yeah, what have you done? You sit in a little air-conditioned office.
I haven't got time to tell you. Let's move on. Let's get on with stuff. What have we got anyway? Because we didn't have a chance to meet up this week. Me and Ricky could have done, but you said you were busy, Steve.
Yeah, I
so
was.
that's probably why you don't get run down. But finishing work at about 4 o'clock.
No,
So
I could have had the meeting, but we gave you a time and you suddenly decided with very little notice that you couldn't make it. So that
make
was
it
the meeting.
meetings and that.
Oh,
So what have we got then? What have we got? It's 1:20. What have we got? We're on till 3.
Well, we've been talking, we've been doing well, we've been playing some great rock and roll, we've been playing some lovely songs, we've told them, we've explained a survey, just for employees, be careful.
Yeah.
We've, put that out there, we put a shout out there, people know
I
you're...
mean, would you say it was probably safest if you are an employer to never employ Mancunians?
Well, I
Would
wouldn't
be
go that
just a
far. I
general
wouldn't go
rule
that
of
far
thumb?
because you see that's only an average. So I imagine some Mancunians, like Londoners, are nice, reliable people. It's probably just a few bad eggs that throw the stats up
Sure.
a little bit. People that would go, I'm not coming in today. I'll put on some wet trousers. All right, stay in bed.
Yeah.
Stay in bed.
Yeah.
You still got them on? Yeah. Well, pop them off.
Yeah.
Put them on the radiator and go to bed with a little duvet. That'd be the best thing to do.
Yeah.
So, all right, Carl? What? What's your attitude? Is it because you're tired?
Yeah.
Well, why are you tired, though?
You weren't staying up watching those Channel 5 films again, were you?
I'll tell you what, me and Steve were having a little meeting yesterday over lunch about, planning stuff for the show. And Gary Kemp came up to me, started having a little chat about old times, and I went, oh, yeah. As he went away, Steve said, right, think of this. He said, Rick, don't take this the wrong way. Remember that sentence, don't take this the wrong way. So there's a right way and a wrong way I could have taken this comment. He nodded to sort of Gary Kemp and went, he's aged better than you. I went, well, how could I take that the wrong way?
Yeah, it's not offensive.
No. Well, the point is this. He because he didn't know me 20 years ago, so he's actually saying, Rick, don't take this the wrong way. He looks better than you do.
Yeah, well, he does.
But why say that, Carl?
What?
Did you really say that?
Yeah, although, can I just backtracking for a second? I love the fact you said you bumped into Gary Kemp and you reminisced about old times. What old times did you share with Gary
Well, no, he
Kemp?
came up and said, did we drop the pops together? And I went, no, I did Razzmatazz. I said, oh, we did Razzmatazz. I think he was thinking, had he ever met me before? But he hadn't, because we hadn't. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
But if you had to make an objective analysis,
I
know.
wouldn't. I think that's out of order.
sure. I mean, you're always slagging me off, but apparently
No,
you can't
well, I wouldn't-
make
I
a
wouldn't
value
do-
judgment
I
on something
wouldn't
else.
do
No.
I wouldn't do
Oh,
that.
gee.
Well, because you're morally all over the place. You don't know where you're coming or going.
Believe it.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Sure. You should hear what I say about you behind your back.
So, would you say you're better looking now than you were? Or
Then I'm what?
would you say you're better looking now than you were?
Than I was when?
Well, have you aged well?
Yes.
You've aged well.
Yeah, I've kept my looks.
bit of Dando.
Bit Evan Dana, this would be lovely, yeah.
Look for sunshine
to be burning full time. Radiohead, Go to Sleep. That's good, isn't it? On XFM 104.9.
Brilliant.
No,
Great DJing there.
Well, I
It's
haven't
good,
heard it before.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it was good. It was very good. It was very good. I was just watching cable TV. I do a lot of that, and there's an advert I've noticed. It reminded me of the sort of adverts you used to see when I was a kid. It's one of those attempts to kind of educate young people, but doing it in
youth.
but
Yeah.
It's on MTV, but it's one of those things where it's clearly been made by people who are in their mid-40s,
Who have never been cool.
who have never been cool,
Yeah.
who've been working really hard to get into TV all
Yeah.
their lives, and now are trying to appeal to, you know, funky and possibly wayward young people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of...
Nerdy wells.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a kind of stunning model, and two of her stunning model friends, but they're just a couple of average girls, you know,
Sure.
going about their business. And, you know, it says something like, it's all shot very funkily, like a kind of, you know, lock, stock and two smoking barrels kind of thing. And it's a girl, and she's just grooving along with her friends, and it's kind of like, the captions are things like, you know, Isabella's 17. She's cool, she's quite funky, she's got these great friends, and they're sort of hanging out and laughing. And she just pops into a tattoo parlour. Why not? Her friends are like, what are you doing? But she just goes in, you know, she has a tattoo done, and it sort of says, she's wild, she's crazy. You know, she lives life as she sees it. She takes every day as it comes. She's not tied down to anything. Da-da-da-da-da. She doesn't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
So it just says, don't smoke cigarettes. If you think she's
if
cool-
you think all this is cool, then you probably won't want to smoke cigarettes. If
Exactly.
you want to be cool,
Yeah,
then
like
don't.
Isabella or whatever her
Except
name
the
is.
thing with that is that people watching that, the youth watching that will go, well, Bill at my school, he smokes and he's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is the problem with it.
Yeah.
It's that it's not that the impulse is wrong. The message is fine. It's just this thing. I can't imagine those things ever working with young people,
No.
with youths. It's like when you know, what was it?
What it will do is that you'll get a lot of 13 and 14-year-olds sneaking out and getting a tattoo.
Exactly.
So the parents will be going, I'd rather she smoked.
Exactly. She might give that up
Yeah, I
sometime.
know,
That's for life.
She's got a spider's web on her face now for the rest of her life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like you remember that thing when they tried to get young people to vote. Do you remember that? Was it Rock the Vote? Was it called Rock the
Oh,
Vote? Was it
God.
people like Billy Bragg and,
Yeah.
and people kind of?
Yeah.
I don't know who that appeals to. I don't know. You know, some youth is kind of smashing up a bus shelter,
Yeah.
throwing bricks at old
He
people.
goes,
and
"Oh,
they went,
Billy-
what's that, Billy Bragg?
Pretty rag, yeah.
I just can't. I don't believe it ever. I think it was Mick Hucknall was another one. What's that, Mick?
Oh dear. Well, I remember the ones where you just if you were going to go off with a stranger, your cat went, well, don't.
Yeah.
Ask mummy first.
Yeah.
And I remember I was trying to jump in cars left, right, and centre, but my cat, when I was
Exactly.
like 5 or 6, would go. And
Yeah.
I go, good point.
Yeah.
You're right. He could be a nutter.
But I seem to remember the Charlie's. The Charlie Says. It was Charlie Says, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Charlie Says.
Charlie says.
I always find them really unnerving. He lived in that really eerie kind of world where you never really saw
cartoon.
anyone. Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
very kind of. It was very eerie. It wasn't a very kind of comforting
No,
world.
they hadn't spent a lot of money on the cartoon. No.
But it was. I always got the sense with him that he was probably really quite lonely.
But I like the fact is that.
And
that
he had. A,
Into meditation. So I was like, oh, and I had a bit of time to kill, so I thought I'll have a chat, right?
have you got time? Oh, we've never got time. We're too busy.
yeah, I thought you were too busy. But
But I said,
Yeah.
what's all that then? What do you do? And he said, we teach you how to breathe. I was like, well, I'm 30. I think
yeah.
I've done all right. And he sort of said, oh, forget it.
Oh, forget it.
I'm 30.
And in Selfridges, they do, like Evian or whatever, that water company are there. And they've got, like, little glasses of water. And you walk past and go, have you ever tried this? It's water.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. We'll try it. You go, Jesus Christ. Is that what water is? What have I been drinking then? You've been drinking piss and mud. Have I? I'll have a bottle.
Anyway, listen, Rockbusters.
Oh, come on then.
Let's get it done.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on then.
Right, so cryptic clues and initials, you work it out, it's a band and stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
Brilliant.
first one.
Bob Holness.
The first clue, the doctor said part of the foot and the leg was no good, so he took him off and he threw him away. Right, that's the clue, the initials
Okay.
TB.
Okay.
TB, right? The doctor said part of the foot and the leg was no good, so he took them off and threw them away. Second one, the Scottish monster has got a bit of a tan. Right, the Scottish monster has got a bit of a tan.
Okay.
That's TD, right? And the last one, well, the 60s singer had a heart attack whilst he was having it away. We won't be seeing him again. right? And that's FNM. FNM. Well, the 60 Singers had a heart attack. He was having it away. We won't be seeing him again. Email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Remember, this is to save Rockbusters. If people don't get this, right, it's no more. So you better, if you want this feature to stay, you better get the clues.
Right?
Good work, Carl. We'll give those clues again after the next tune. What are we playing?
Evanescence?
Yeah.
Oh, you love it, don't you? You love it.
Good, it's a good stomping pop #1 rock.
XFM.
Jane's Addiction, Just Because. I think things are rocking up.
They are indeed.
Rocking up in the land this year, Steve.
Yes, that's good news, I think.
Evanescence, them, The Darkness, rock-tastic. XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, and Carl Pilkington of A Saturday.
Can I just say that the shaving your arse feature
Yeah.
from earlier, if you missed that, that was 1:30. That was a discussion on shaving your arse.
Yeah.
It was great stuff. That seems to have caught the public imagination.
Yeah.
We've had so many emails. We've had someone telling us exactly how to shave your arse.
Yeah.
So if you need that information, I can probably forward it to you.
Well, I think this will be the year of rock and arse.
Exactly. But it's extraordinary how, just a simple discussion like that you would think perhaps was crass, crude.
Mind you, our listeners do like Carl talking about monkeys.
Sure.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like it's something to be proud of. It's not like we changed a nation or freed a people or found
no.
a cure for something. We hit them in their, at their level with monkeys and arses.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what our listeners love.
Yeah. Monkeys and arses.
Yeah.
We should put that on the poster. I
And
think.
they go together, because I joined the zoo last Sunday, went down and became friends of the zoo, right?
Oh, right, I thought you had to sit in a,
No,
in a
no,
cage for
no.
6
And
days a week.
that thing happened. I went straight for the chimps,
Of course.
right? And there was sort of like 3 sort of big sort of adult ones there, and there's people with their kids, and I could see the people just putting their kids away as one of them went up and started putting his face up the other one's arse.
Sure.
And it was sort of like, I just can't be bothered to explain this to
Yeah.
my children.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was people just moving away. Oh, come on then. There's the lions. Just going to have a look at the lions.
Yeah.
What are they doing? They're just sniffing each other's asses.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember when I used to go to the zoo, I always felt there were certain animals that weren't getting a look in, really, that no one was particularly interested in.
The tapir.
Exactly. We were going straight to the snakes we were interested in.
Yeah,
Birds.
so
I don't remember being
big-
particularly interested in birds.
Big cats, although it's a bit depressing. Great apes. Great apes. Reptile, you're right, reptiles, yeah. Birds, unless it's a
birds.
big one that you think
Oh,
can
a
rip a
vulture.
dog apart.
Yeah, a vulture
you go,
or an eagle,
brilliant. Yeah,
brilliant.
exactly, yeah. Owls are
But-
brilliant.
Yeah, owl's great. But the
I've
sort
always
of-
wanted a little owl on my desk. I'd like to be doing work, and there'd be a little owl there, and I go, can you give me that pencil? And it just sort of goes over and gets me a pencil, goes, cheers, and it just watches me, and it thinks I'm brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
Not really, no.
No?
No, I've never had an urge to have any kind of animal sat on my desk.
No, Carl? You'd like a little owl, wouldn't you, that helped you?
No, I had a little magpie, didn't I? We've talked about
Oh, he came down and started pecking your grifter, didn't he?
that. Yeah.
What was his name?
Maggie.
Sure.
Brilliant.
Inspired.
And you took it to school and it didn't come back
Didn't
once,
come
did it?
back, didn't come back, didn't see it again.
Oh, dear. Did it ever peck your head? Because you used to have hair, didn't you?
Mm.
Yeah.
No, it did. It started getting a bit violent.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it becoming sort of age when adolescence? Probably sexual frustration, sort. Because I think magpies go for shiny objects, don't they? And you were probably sort of probably losing it a little bit then in the front, and so when the sun was out,
There's a bit of a sheen on the front.
they saw a glare and thought, "I'll have that."
Yeah.
What is that? That's brilliant.
Yeah. Or as it was sort of pecking away, it mistook it for a tree.
Yeah, because of the noise.
Because of
it
the
made.
noise. Yeah, the hollow
Oh,
sound.
I squeezed his head yesterday.
We should just point out, if you're a new listener to XFM, you may not realise that one of Ricky's many sexual peccadillos, I'm assuming it's a sexual thing, I can't justify it any other way, is to just squeeze Carl's head.
Yeah.
Front
I don't know what it
wise,
is.
sidewise.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's sexual or, like when you've got a little kitten, you want to squeeze his little face. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that, Carl?
Yeah,
A
yeah,
little
I said
puppy
that.
or
I said it
kitten.
before, squeeze a little head.
Yeah, exactly, and I feel that with you, because it's sort of like, it gives so much. Look at Carl's face, he gives so much. It is like he can understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
And that's what the connection is, I think, between me and Carl and other animals.
It's like he can understand what we're saying.
But I squeezed it yesterday, and Carl went, I definitely had something crack.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to see how hard I can squeeze it.
Yeah, I think that was you just thinking, Carl. To be fair. I think the cogs just started to... No, I mean, I think there is a danger, because I think there is a danger that you could squeeze it too much.
Yeah, I know. He did a good deed today, the other day, didn't you? Was it? Yeah.
What were you up to?
You were just, you were talking about, like, being hustled in the street and stuff. and I get hassled a lot by the homeless.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
You should go home to sleep. Sit, I'm here, mate.
But no, I do treat them a lot. You know?
You treat them. I love that. You had a good day? Yeah. You been good? Yeah. There you go. That's 50p.
Suzanne does the Save the Children thing. You were talking about, you know, charities hassling you all the time. She does that. And I sort of say, well, you do that. I'll look after
You'll
the-
take care of the homeless.
I'll take care of the odd tramp round where I live.
And how do you treat them?
Loads of
50p?
different ways. 50p I might give them.
Yeah.
Or I might, you know, they'll sort of say, oh, have you got any money? I'll say, what for? And they'll go, I'm really thirsty. So I'll go, well, hang on a minute. And I nip and get them a little Diet Coke.
Sure,
A
well,
Diet Coke,
yeah, 'cause they want to watch their weight.
Yeah, yeah. They're going full fat. Oh, what an insult.
Yeah, exactly.
To a man like me.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather treat them than... Because a lot of people spend money on, you know, problems abroad and stuff.
Right.
Oh,
I just
God.
think, you know...
Yeah.
No,
Family
I'm
relief
just
and
saying.
Oh, God. Like what? What do you mean? Like famine relief?
Well, you do get sick of it, don't you? You know what I mean? It's that...
things. You get sick of
No,
it.
I'm just
wait,
saying.
wait. Go
No,
on.
I'm just...
I know. Just let whatever you do now, Steve. Don't interrupt because I'm scared, but I just think it's worth it. There's so many issues here. There's freedom of speech. There's we're not responsible.
Yeah.
There's he'll get away with it because he's a buffoon.
Yes.
And it is entertaining.
Exactly.
So go
So
on.
what's
Carl.
your
all
thought?
I'm saying is you're saying, you know, who do I give me money to? Is it you know, little, you know, sick kids or whatever, or is it old people or whatever?
HMV. That's where he gives his money to.
Particularly, they get a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, I just get sick of, you know, problems abroad. It's like, what do you do? What do you do with famine and that? What are you meant to do? How can you solve it? It's gone on for years.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going. We keep giving them money. They keep spending it.
And you're not getting any return for your cash.
Well, it's just how many times, you know, they've got to learn.
What do you mean
They've
they've got to learn? What, you're going to teach them a lesson?
What do you mean they've got to learn? What do you mean?
Well, what are they doing with it? Yeah, they must have like better interest accounts or something where, you know, look after, put the money in the right things.
Sorry, do you think that Bob Geldof sort of writes him a cheque? He goes over and he's in the helicopter and there's millions of them, and they go, it's Geldof from Boomtown Rats.
Brilliant.
I go, I hope
If there's one man that can help us.
yeah, I hope he doesn't sing. He's not going to sing. He's got some money for us. And he comes down and he goes, do you want a cheque or do you take Switch? They go, we don't take Switch. He goes, there's a cheque. They get
He's
things
doing
like...
it again, though, isn't he, as well? I
Is
mean,
he?
I like, you know, he used to work here, Bob. He's a lovely fella and that. But,
Yeah, he's a lovely man.
but how many times can you save the world? You know,
Yeah.
he's over there again helping out, and it's like, well, you know, what do you do?
Are you saying don't bother because it keeps happening?
Not well. I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? I'm not daft.
But that's what you're thinking.
And Carl, you are daft.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what the answer is. Do you know what I mean?
So you're just saying wash your hands of the whole affair, leave them to it.
yeah.
Sure.
Are you really just saying it's sort of it's nature, it's tough luck, just don't interfere, like a wildlife program? Is that what you're saying? Don't
Are
interfere.
you basically you're saying it's not my concern?
This has got a bit heavy. Can we do Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Let's play a record.
Oh God! Oh.
My Hey Hey out of the blue from the album Rust Never Sleeps by Neil Young.
Such a brilliant song.
Oh, he's a great musician.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's incredible. I think we're playing Neil Young track a week
Okay,
from now until Christmas.
brilliant. Okay,
All right.
excellent.
On XFM 104.9, American Radio with Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
We were talking about the homeless. I saw a homeless guy in the week as I was walking down Finchley Road, and he was peering in the window of one of the Dixons or something like that, just checking out the details on one of those cable TV packages. And I thought, one step at a time. I mean, firstly, I don't know, start eating your dinner off a plate,
Yeah.
and then work your way up to, you know, a house, a home, a widescreen TV,
A roof.
digital television. But it's odd.
Well, that might answer one of the questions, because I keep getting recognised by homeless people, and I never know what to say. I go, oh, it's your... I think, well, either they're not really homeless, and they've, you know, I don't know, they've got sort of digs or something, and they watch television, or the scariest one is that they've become homeless in the last few months
Sure,
since
yeah.
the office. I think, oh God, that's really scary. Or they are watching it in Dixon's. They're going, the office is on tonight.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Going down to Dixon's.
Or they
So-
think you're one of them.
Or that, well, I have.
'Cause, I mean,
had-
the way you
Well,
dress.
no, some that are probably not quite, got their faculties, so maybe a little bit worse for wear, think they recognise me, and they old scenarios where they're going, remember we were chatting, I was going, yeah, how are you? And it's just they recognise someone.
Right, yeah.
But that's a bit weird. But, I mean, I think that's the worst thing, homeless. On a serious note, it is outside health. Well, we're talking about charity, and I don't know, I sort of got these standards where I've been sort of like caught in the street. But the ones that I'd choose, I'd always think charity is what touches you. You can't change the world, but you can change your bit. So cancer, obviously, because my mum. So I give to cancer. And I think outside health, the next one must be being homeless. Because there's nothing you can do. It's got everything. You're scared, bewildered, you're cold, hungry. It's just hard, but you can still get the points.
Right.
Because his name's not Binnett. Tony, brilliant. Tony, perfect. A pun. Toe, knee, his name's Tony. Perfect. Binnett, no, his name's Bennett. See?
Well, he's in London this week as well, so I don't know if it's sold out. I wouldn't mind.
Are you on drugs? Or did I actually crack your head? Did I actually give you some brain damage? Because you're worse than usual now. It's like, go on.
Right, the second one. That Scottish fella.
We've got to speed this show
No,
up.
hang on a minute, hang on. I've just got to make sure it's right. We don't want to look stupid. Right? That Scottish monster has got a bit of a tan.
I don't think we can look stupid with material like this.
TD. That Scottish monster's got a bit of a tan. The answer there, the Darkness.
I'll give you that.
Right?
Well done.
And the last one.
Goal.
The 60s singer, he had a heart attack the other way whilst having it away. You won't be seeing him again. The initials FNM. That's Faith No More. Adam Faith. Right?
No! Doesn't count!
Why not? Adam Faith No More.
Adam Faith no more. So, sorry, what is the clue? Is the clue Adam Faith, or is it Faith no more?
Just Faith, I suppose. Just Faith No More. He's a 60s singer. So we got that. That's that. Safe for next week. Who's the winner?
What do you make of it? You've got the deciding vote, Rick.
Well,
Come on.
I mean, you know my
I
feelings
mean,
on that.
it works Faith no more, but he's mixed up what cryptic is and that, because the fella, I mean, Adam Faith did actually die having it away, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it's all about him.
It's all right. All the facts are right.
Anyway.
Okay, I think he's got a reprieve. I think I'll give it to him. I think I've got to give it to him, Steve. And I think I have. He actually pulled that out of the bag, that one. There's no Jamaican fellas seeing icebergs or, Whitney Houston. The closest he came to is Binnett, and I've got to let him off that. I've got to be a fair ref here.
Well, fair enough, and well done to... I'm always a fan of names that for some reason just strike me or tickle me.
Yeah.
And this week the lucky winner is Dave Suckling. There's nothing amusing about that. But there you are.
Oh dear.
So well done to Dave Suckling.
Okay. Suckling wins it. Suckling takes the prize.
He takes the prizes, and well done to him. I guess there's more of that next week, and we're fast approaching the end of the show, Rick. I know you are excited about that, as am I.
Well, no, but the best to come, because we've still got Bruce Springsteen coming up now, followed by Monkey News.
All right, Monkey News
It's
after Bruce.
amazing. What an amazing show this is. Oh, chimpanzee that Monkey News!
Excellent. So Monkey News time on XFM. Carl Pilkington, the man in the hot seat. Carl, what have you got for us?
Okay, Monkey News this week. We've covered a lot of stuff.
We have indeed.
Now, do you know, there's places where you can go for, weekend rests and stuff,
Sure.
and you relax, you sit in a little spa, you might have a swim and
Yep.
stuff. Well, they've got a place done for monkeys,
Of course they have.
right? They can go there, they relax, forget about all the stuff they've got going on in their head. They can have a manicure,
Right.
got nice meals,
It's not called a manicure, though, it's called a chimpacure.
beauty
them.
treatments,
Yeah.
right? They look good and stuff.
Yeah, well, look good, feel good, yeah.
Now, you might think, well, that's pretty normal.
Well,
The bit I haven't told you about is it's actually run by a couple of chimps.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! You're a maniac!
right.
Oh, for Christ! Oh,
Let's just.
that's like coming a chip.
Let's
Of
just.
course it's not.
No, it is, because think about it, right?
No, not think about it. What do you mean? Yes, it is. Of course, it's not run by a couple of chimps. What do they do? Get a loan?
Right, if a chimp wants
Yeah.
to have a rest,
Yeah.
where would you go to? A place that's run by humans that don't know what chimps' needs are?
No. My point is this: how did they get it together? How did the two chimps, Mr. and Mrs. Chimp, went for a loan and said, "I'll tell you what we need: a spa."
I think it started off quite simple, right? Just you know, basic stuff.
But they've
Chimps are
expanded
fine.
over time because it's become so popular.
It's gone mental down there.
Sure.
Go! I
They've all
don't
heard
know.
about it. Now the thing is, the problem is this, right? That isn't even the top and bottom of it, right?
Christ!
The problem is, it's been going on and on and on, right? It's been earning a lot of money and stuff. The monkeys are happy. The monkeys that go there are loving it. They're telling friends and stuff. They're all coming to it. Now the problem is, it's this little monkey, little man monkey and a little woman monkey, right?
Yeah.
Who are sort of girlfriend and boyfriend.
Sort of. It's an open relationship. They can play around if they
Well,
want.
the problem is they're not married, right? Now
Trouble brewing.
the lad monkey, fella monkey, he's getting quite old.
Mm.
And the problem is, because it's his name that's down on all the stuff.
Carl,
All the forms.
actually,
Let him
I don't-
finish.
I'm getting scared now.
Let him finish.
It's his name on the business, and the problem is his missus is kind of like, what's going to happen?
Sure.
What
If
are
he
you getting this?
passes
Where are you
away-
getting this from? What?
Internet.
Carl, I don't know where to start.
Now,
This is the.
Can we
this
just
is
hear
the-
the end?
This is ridiculous.
so the problem is, the
The female
girl-
monkey is worried that the male monkey
she's worried.
is
What's
going to
going to
die.
happen? What's going to
and
happen with the
what's gonna
business? What's going to happen?
Of course.
Right now,
What do you mean the business?
the health
There is no
spa,
business. It's a joke.
Health
Rick,
spa.
you're not listening. His name's on the form. The male monkey's name, it's in his name.
Now the problem is,
Oh,
the woman monkey has got some kids, but because they're not blood relatives, it's not going to be handed down to them. And the
What,
courts,
they're kids from a previous monkey marriage?
yeah,
Right.
so that they're not going to get it. Let me just check this out.
Yeah, otherwise you don't want to check the facts, otherwise
Yeah.
you could look like a twat spouting shit on the radio. Please check the facts for scientific
And
security.
they're just a bit worried because they're saying that the people in Ohio, which is where they've got the little health thing going on,
So that makes it more believable that it's Ohio. I thought you meant it was Berkshire, in which case it would be rubbish.
it looks like the local people are trying to get in there. They've seen the success of it,
Sure.
and they're
They want a
trying
piece
to
of
go
the
in and
action.
take it over and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Give me the piece of paper.
Throw it away. Play a record. That's the worst. That's the worst one I've ever heard. And there's something wrong with you. You're educationally subnormal.
Final tune from us. Tim Buckley. Lovely song called Wings. Back next week?
Yeah.
Yep. See you, Carl.
Although you've spoken many times before.
Oh, proper rock band. Best band since Thin Lizzy. The Darkness.
Well, big words.
Growing on me. XFM 104.9.
A bit rash, I think.
R. Gervais, S. Merchant, K. Pilkington. With a little bit of I know for a fact that Steve is getting a little bit sick of Carl's attitude.
Oh, his attitude's appalling. Yeah.
I quite like it though, because it's straight away friction, and he's sort of like, you know.
To be fair, I genuinely don't think I'm the culprit in this. I think I come in and I just ask him a simple request,
Yeah.
and immediately on my back. Whinging, moaning, whining. I mean, I don't know if there's any evidence.
Well, it's funny you
sort
say
of
that actually, because
support
in a
any of my
survey,
complaints.
it came up this week. It's quite extensive. Mancunians take more sick days than anyone else. Mancunians take more sick days than workers in any other city in Britain and Ireland, according to Manchester-based employment firm. Survey by Peninsula found employees in Manchester take 11 sick days per year, whereas closest rivals Edinburgh and Dublin take an average of 9. Liverpool, Newcastle, Birmingham, Cardiff only 8.
Is Reading mentioned there, or
No,
Bristol?
it's not even in there. They don't take days off. London is only 7. So the point is, I mean, I don't think you can take anything from it, but if you're an employer and you had a Mancunian and a Liverpudlian and they were equal on everything else, but you really couldn't afford them to be away, Liverpudlian's going to probably be away for 8 days.
Sure.
The Manc's going to be away for 11, phoning in sick. And
So what can you? I mean, just
Well, it's the point
analysing the
is
data there. What would you extrapolate from that?
I really don't know. I mean, call in if you've got any clues, or email us in if you've got any. I don't know why they. I think maybe. I don't know. Mancunians.
I mean, I don't really know many people from Manchester.
Well, I only
so-
know one, but I know he was off sick because he put on wet trousers and he got.
You got a cold, I think.
Yeah, well, he just said he was.
Yeah.
Didn't come in for. He left early as well once.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, that's the survey. I don't know. I mean, it's evidence because it's statistics. So there
Yeah,
you
it's
go.
guaranteed evidence that that's
So,
proof.
any thoughts on that, Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk?
I mean, oddly enough, you're from Manchester,
Yeah,
Carl.
I am,
What do you
yeah,
think?
yeah, yeah,
What are your
it's funny,
thoughts on that?
On what? Sorry.
No, on the survey.
Oh, wasn't really listening.
Sure.
Well, Mancunians take off more sick days. They call in sick. I mean, presumably spuriously.
Yeah.
I mean, because they've got the same body. They're biologically the same. So.
So they're obviously making up their life.
Yeah, some of the days. Maybe just the 3 extra they're making up.
Yeah, they're moaning.
Probably because we work a lot harder than the others, so we're tired, so you're sick, so you need time off. Probably.
Well,
Seems
Probably.
unlikely.
I mean, the Scousers, to be honest, yeah, take them on, let them work in your office. But you know how many computers are going to go missing?
Right, that
So offensive.
is offensive.
Right.
This is a survey that proved. You just made that up. You just carried on the myth that Liverpudlians thieve. Now that's not true. That is not true. Well, it's not.
Well, some of them do.
There's been no survey that you're more likely to thieve if you're from Liverpool than if you're in Manchester. So that hasn't been proven yet. So all I've got is the evidence from a survey of, I think, 3,500 people. It's proof that Mancunians take off more sick days. XFM 104.9. This is April Come She Will by Simon and Garfunkel. Simon and Garfunkel, April Come She Will. A lovely, lovely love song there. The X-List was all about sort of like sexy songs because of death of Barry White, of course. And Carl and Steve having a little argument. Steve said, well, there are such thing as sexy songs, of course. Carl said, I can't understand it. Can't understand it. How can something be sexy? How can you woo one with a song? Steve went, well, you don't woo one with it, you just put it on the background. Carl said, stick the telly on.
Stick the telly on.
I love that.
You don't believe there's any such thing as a sexy song, is that right?
I don't think it can get you in the mood. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're either in with a chance or you're not. I don't think it matters what song you put on.
Well, I don't think it ups your chances. I don't think if
No,
you take...
It does. If you put Channel 5 on a Friday night, right, see a little bit of that action, gets anyone going. And it's worked for me, and that's all.
What's
that's
on
what I'm
when
saying.
pets go mad?
No,
What's
no,
on?
you know, like, I
What?
don't know the titles of them. I don't look at the titles. But
What,
there's-
that show with Chris Moyles?
there's
Do you mean
just
the kind of erotic thrillers?
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
have on?
Put one of them on. That gets you going a bit.
What
When
is
I
what
might
is
be
she?
tired and that, but
What is the
That's the listeners, Carl. That's Joanne.
amusing, articulate, accurate? She remembered
Accurate.
exactly who's there and everything, setting in the bill. It's all there. So I mean, even though people think that you're slightly simian, slightly less than human on the evolutionary ladder, they do listen to you. So I mean, I don't know who's more stupid in the end, you or the listeners.
Well, you may recall, Rick, at the end of last week when Carl had to shoot off early, we issued a little request for listeners just to bombard Carl's email with just pointless emails that really weren't about anything, just to clog up his email for when he returned.
Yeah.
Rick, they sent them all to us.
Brilliant.
I mean, that's the kind of listeners that we've got. We've got reams here on our email of just junk.
I mean, it's like a Marx Brothers plot, isn't it? I
It's
mean, just
ludicrous.
listen.
Listen to what we say.
I got one about a shaved cat. Well, that's not pointless. I'll be reading that later.
Oh, you're loving it, yeah.
I'm happy.
That'll keep you going for a couple of weeks.
I'll be reading that later.
Did you get to the Monkey Sanctuary? Because this was the big thing. You were going down to Cornwall, you were going to visit the Monkey Sanctuary. I've never seen someone more excited. You had 2 days put aside for the Monkey Sanctuary.
I know.
How did it go, Monkey World?
We were on our way right, I found like a little, in the little cottage that we had, right, it's like a little folder, you know, with little leaflets in saying if you're into mountains, you want to go here.
Yep.
If you're into castles and that.
Go to
Little
Castle
monkey
World.
on the leaflet, right, so I thought I'll be needing that. Took that out, made sure that's safe and that, right. We get in the car, getting ready to go. My dad says, where is it? I look on the back. It's in a place called Low or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So we're on our way. Can't believe me luck. It's going to be a great day and all that.
Yeah.
And then start looking at the leaflet, right? And noticed didn't have any chimps there.
Yeah, it's not Monkey World.
It wasn't a monkey world.
Well, what
No.
was it called then?
Something like,
Monkey Town.
yeah, it was just it had like woolly monkeys in it. That's what.
It
it
had
was.
what?
Woolly monkeys.
What are woolly monkeys?
Those things that Johnny Vegas off the advert. Look
Right.
to them. They're dumped now since ITV Digital
Yeah.
went under, so they just put them in a cage.
I don't
No,
understand.
They're woolly. They're like they're sort of like little fluffy little baboon type things. Woolly monkeys. I mean, it's not your chimp. It is
Right.
not. It's not your classic chimpanzee.
So did the car screech to a hole?
It was like
Yeah.
it was like the mission in Armageddon. I just said abort. We're on the way back.
So how far had you got before you bothered to read the leaflet?
Probably about 5 miles away
Right.
from where we were.
So what did you do with yourself? You must have been distraught.
we
Well,
went
they
to,
broke down and then they heard banjo music.
No, we went to a sort of an amusement place.
Arcade.
I'd love to see you in that. What with putting those coins in, so it has to roll down and they go flat, and then an arm pushes
It
them.
was one of them.
Really?
But
I
I'd worked
spent
out it was
years
a
on that when I
con.
was little.
Well, there's a new one. I can't be bothered explaining it, but it's a con. We went to this place, right? My mum and dad had been there before, and
Yeah.
they said, you'll love it. It's brilliant. It's got like a war bit in it.
A war bit, right?
Yeah, like, because they know I'm into tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
So you'll be loving that.
So, sorry, I didn't know you were into tanks.
No.
Well, they're all right.
Brilliant. It's gone from one of his childhood passions to, well, they're all right.
I know, yeah. Go on.
And but it was awful. I mean, my mum and dad had been there before, and he said, no, you'll love it. But
Yeah.
it was like a really miserable day.
Sure.
Right? All the rides and that were broke.
Yeah.
Broke.
It just reminds you of Manchester.
My dad just ended up. He was more interested. There was a really fat family there.
Well, presumably he was breaking into the machines, trying to scoop off the cash.
I like the fact that those poor fat family were going, why are those people looking at us?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to ride one?
No, but they
we're
were,
not a ride.
They were massive, and he just like, look at that. Look at the state of that. A whole family,
Yeah.
just fat.
Bloaters, yeah.
All right.
No,
down.
but because fat, there's no need for it, is there? And he was really like, oh god. And then he wanted to follow them into the House of Mirrors to see what they look like. But my mum had got bored. She went off to buy a little Snow White figure. She couldn't believe her luck. It was only $2.99.
Yeah.
She thought it was going to be really expensive.
Sure,
so she
she's
bought
classy
one of
lady.
them. So she enjoyed that. And then my dad says, come on, we go in. It's rubbish, this.
What, the fat family wouldn't let him play with them?
So he just said on the way home, he said, I can safely say that I never want to go there again before I die. So that was that. And then we went home.
Why would he ever give you that information? In case it was like a secret birthday present. You
Yeah.
go, oh God, what if they get me a trip to here? Or if he's in a coma and you go, I'll tell you what, bring him out of it.
That fat couple
yeah.
by his bedside.
But Suzanne said she now realises why I am the way I am after
Yeah.
spending like a week with them.
Well,
She said-
they told her that they dropped you on your head as a kid, or
No, just like the way they act and that.
right, yeah.
I
No, they
think-
were saying things like, Suzanne, so, why is the moon out at night and the sun in the day? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
God,
was-
there's
it-
3 of them.
Suzanne, can you tie my shoelaces again?
It was the bit when my dad said, "Don't waste money on a coffin for him. Just put him in a bin bag."
Your father said that about himself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'm glad you mentioned that because
That is great.
that gives me an idea.
Coldplay, God Put a Smile Upon Your Face on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington.
Reading the paper yesterday, they were talking about the fact that Blair has been, I think he's been in Greece discussing EU matters.
Oh, yeah.
And they used the old Trojan horse analogy
Yeah.
to say, here's a particular policy, and it seems like they're trying to sneak in some kind of dubious idea.
Disguised as something else.
Exactly. And it's always struck me, ever since I was first introduced to the Trojan horse theory, I never understood how it had come about. Do you know what I mean?
So Carl has got a frown on him, like a thing I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Carl, do you know what
Tony
the
Blair is the Prime Minister.
you know what the Trojan horse was?
Go on.
Have you come
it
across
was
this
the
before? Have
siege
you
of-
heard of it before?
Wasn't that Ascot or anything? Go on.
Well, the Trojan horse, what happened was, it's a famous kind of Greek story about the fact that the Greeks...
In olden
laid-
times, Carl.
Yeah.
Olden times,
Olden
is,
times, the
specifically.
70s.
Yeah.
The Greeks laid siege to Troy for 6 years.
Waiting.
Basically, things had got out of hand. I think the Trojans had done something with Helen, and someone else was annoyed. Anyway, it all got very complicated. It got out of hand, and the
You know, the
Greeks-
Helen, the one with the mashed up face, because they used to use it to launch ships.
Anyway, the Greeks laid siege to Troy for 6 years, right? And they weren't getting anywhere. They were outside the gates. They were saying, "Let us in." They weren't. They were. Blah, blah, blah. So what they did was they all disappeared. They
Well, they wanted to get in and kill everyone.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why they wouldn't be letting in.
but they couldn't get inside the city walls. So what they did was they left as a gift for the Trojans. They left an enormous wooden horse, okay, as a gift, and then they all buggered off.
Like 40 foot high, 50 foot long. I mean, a big,
Big wooden
an
horse.
arc of a
And the
horse.
Trojans wheeled it into the city.
So that's nice.
Thought, what a lovely gift.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, who was hiding inside? But the entire Greek army. They leapt
all-
out, killed everyone in their sleep.
Yeah.
All right, and that's where the famous idea of a Trojan horse has come from. Sneaking something in, disguised as something else.
Alright.
All right. Okay.
So if you ever... Yeah.
He doesn't really understand, does he?
No, but to be honest, nor do I.
Well, this is the problem I've always had with this.
It-
Because I don't understand who comes up with the idea. I mean,
But I can't think that was the best idea.
well, no.
There must be other ways. If they come up with that, how long did it take them to go? When they said... One fellow said, whoa, can I have a word?
Go on,
General. I've got an idea.
Yeah.
Build a big horse, right? Hide inside it, and then, I know what you're thinking. They won't let us in, even in the horse.
Yeah.
Leave it as a gift.
Brilliant. Right. Who are you? That's the best idea. Are you the guy that came up with, why don't we get a giant bra and twing everyone over the walls?
Let's get a 100-foot ruler. And like at school, we used to like flick the teacher's ass with like, right, I could flick you over one at a time.
Right.
On this giant
Thanks
ruler.
for your idea. It's on the table.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of other suggestions on the way.
What about 1 million elastic bands tied together? Yeah, and you all hold it down, and then I just let you go.
Right.
And you all ping over, and then you kill him in their sleep.
You're the best tactician we've got, are you?
What? The other thing is, right? These people for some reason open the door.
Well, I don't understand. Firstly, that suddenly the army that's laid siege to them for 6 years has disappeared. In
Yeah.
their place, an enormous gift of a giant wooden horse.
Oh, they probably don't want to kill us now, but what they've done is they've built us a
Yeah, they
a
brought us
horse.
a great gift. Presumably there was a giant kind of card or something.
Yeah.
Something for you. Sorry about the laying siege and everything. Forgive you.
Yeah.
Here's an enormous gift. Here's an enormous Trojan horse. We know it's what you've always wanted.
We're not inside it. Why did they write that?
Yeah.
That's suspicious.
But it's-
well,
I mean-
wheel it in anyway.
But in terms of it as an idea initially, I mean, we're going to give them a gift. Well, what should we do? We could bake an enormous quiche, be inside that. We could have an enormous soap on a rope. It's the fact that it's an enormous horse, an
Yeah.
enormous wooden horse as a gift anyway. I don't know if this was a popular gift at the time. But it's also the stupidity of the Trojans saying, brilliant, I've always wanted an enormous wooden horse. Well, what are we going to do with it? Where are we going to
we'll
put
wheel it in anyway. Leave
Just
it.
wheel it in
Wheel
anyway.
it in. Let's go to sleep. Let's worry about it tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's this idea of someone going, right, is this definitely the best idea? And they go, yeah. And they look to the carpenter.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, we've got to get
We've
wood.
got to get on with it. Well, you haven't put a door in.
Yeah.
How are we going to get up
Doesn't
there?
it look like a horse?
It
This
is.
is the worst horse I've ever seen. Why, it looks like a cow.
Wow, the udder's where we hide. There's a horse
It's got no
udder.
tail.
That's the rope that you climb up.
But I don't know if it's one of those things where, again, because we kind of learn these things at school, that somewhere along the line the truth of it has disappeared, and we're
Well, I imagine it lost a bit in translation.
yeah,
Because in Eohippus in Greek means giant tank.
right.
So that
yeah.
actually was a Sherman.
Yeah.
And it burst through and it shot them all.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
of course, down the years, they've tried. Look at Carl's face. Look at Carl's face. If everyone on webcam, Carl, just keep that face and look up to the camera. Right? Just, right, get a look at that now. Play a record, Carl. Educating Carl, we should bring that back.
We should bring that back.
Yeah? What do you want to learn about next week?
We've told you about the Trojan horse.
Know anything about any freaks?
Oh, right, big something. Placebo. This picture on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
Right.
So you've been educated there, haven't you? The
Yeah,
Trojan
so,
horse.
Yeah.
The Trojan horse. And that's, of course, where the phrase, beware Greeks bearing gifts, comes from.
Silence again.
Yeah. You ever heard of that one?
Go on. What's that again?
Beware Greeks bearing gifts.
Right.
What do you think that means?
I don't know. I mean, what is that? Is that used worldwide or what? Will they say that in Greece as well, or? Because imagine Christmas Day is rubbish.
No, it doesn't actually mean beware of Greeks bearing gifts. It's more to do with, like, maybe it's too good to be true, or, you know. It's the opposite to don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Probably where it came from as well. Go
Justin
on.
from South